Are we live? Are we live? How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan. Thank you for joining me tonight. You are watching ABL Live. There's a whole lot going on today. Whole lot of things happening, whole lot of things moving and shaking. Thank you to everybody who's come in. If you're just now entering the stream, please give the video a thumbs up. That'll help me out tremendously, and I'd appreciate you for it. What's happening right now in the country? Let's talk about Portland, Oregon right quick. That whole situation is a mess. The media are trying to say, "Oh, it's the right wing, extremists, the Proud Boys, this, that, and the third, the KKK." Well, look, there's all kinds of groups that are out there in Portland. The main group that is engaging in the violence would be the left, the far left, Antifa. And in my humble opinion, these people are Antifa are high on drugs, and drugs fuel their rage. Now, they want to call Antifa counter protesters, counter demonstrators. It seems like they're the only ones protesting. If there's a march and they have a particular goal in mind, are they necessarily protesting or are they marching? Is the Macy's Day Parade in New York City a protest or is it a parade? We'll talk about a lot of those issues and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all for joining. I most certainly appreciate you. You could be anywhere in the whole wide world, but you're right here with me. And I thank y'all for that. Like I said, if you're just now coming in, please give the video a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it 100 million trillion %. Now, let's talk about Portland. Like I was saying, they're talking about Antifa being so-called counter demonstrators or first they said counter protesters, but then since, Joe Biggs and the whole squad aren't really protesting and just having a peaceful demonstration, then they want to say counter demonstrators. The whole narrative is that the so-called far right groups are the bad ones and they've come into Portland to cause problems, when in reality, all the issues are coming from Antifa, which is the far left. People have been on my social media, also in the comment section on my page, and they're saying, look, I live in Portland. I'm here. I know what's going on. It's all Antifa. It's all the far left. When the media say far right, right-wing extremists, that's not even really the real situation. The real situation is that Antifa are out there causing problems. Shout out to Donald Trump for his timely tweet talking about he's considering designating Antifa as a terrorist organization. I say it's high time you did so. It's been past time. They're obviously a terrorist organization. They have all the hallmark traits of it, and violence, intimidation, threats. They're covering their face. I mean, they're worse than the Klan, 100%. Especially right now. I mean, it might be like two guys in the Klan in the United States. These guys are deep. They're everywhere. And what they do is not even always violence. See, we see stuff on the news where they try to break a truck down with some hammers and they spray people with bear spray and, they bludgeon you with a pole or a bottle. Really kind of like brute force tactics. We see that, the physical stuff, but they also engage in doxing, cyber crime, all kind of stuff like that to ruin your life. I saw a picture, of Rose City Antifa, and that's in Portland. And they had a sign that said 10 years, ruining lives since 2007. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull it up right quick. And then this picture will pretty much encapsulate all of what I'm talking about here. There we go. Okay, you guys can see it. Rose City Antifa, 10 years, ruining lives since 2007. Okay, so this is what they do. This is who they are. You see, they got the masks on. You can't see their face. And the funny part about it is that they claim to be anti-fascist, anti-racist, but this group is largely composed of white men and women, or white Zers, Zim, Zers, all kind of people like that. They purport themselves to be what they are the total opposite of. They say that, okay, we're diverse. Not too much diversity in Antifa. They say that they're for the minority. Well, why did you beat up Andy No almost kill him in a rally. Why do you call black officers coon and Uncle Tom when you're white? You see what I'm saying? Why are you using racial slurs? They're the exact thing that they purport themselves to be against. So I want them to be classified as a terrorist organization right away. See, I'm not a biased person. I can call out a hate group. You understand what I'm saying? Klan, okay, hate group. Antifa, hate group. What's the difference? You know, if you doing things out here, you're hurting people, you harm people because of a particular of your skin tone or whatever, you need to be classified as a hate group. It's the same thing to me as a gang. Do you know that in some places in America, it's a crime to even be in a gang? All right. There's a guy in Atlanta right now doing 10 years in the penitentiary for the crime of being in the gang. Now, of course, he had other crimes that he did. I mean, let's not be naive, but on his docket, it says gang affiliation, 10 years in the not federal, but, state penitentiary. Okay. So why shouldn't Antifa have the same thing on their back? If you are identified as being part of Antifa, and if you are identified as doing their gang activities, you need to get locked up too. The same as anybody else that's in the gang or organized crime or something like that. All right. I see you, ICAST80. Point of personal privilege. Him, he. Yeah, exactly. But that's Antifa. Now, I got to show you guys this one picture that I saw on Twitters, on the Twitters, and it pretty much encapsulates what they're all about. Okay, let me see if I can find it right quick. And this, matter of fact, this comes from Ian Miles Chong. Hopefully I didn't butcher his name. And you see it right here. This is Antifa, a horde of black masked cowards hiding behind a minority and two disabled people. Now, this guy right here, hold on, can you see this guy right here, I've seen him a lot. I've seen him in other stuff. And I think that, the gears are there and they're trying to turn, but they're not all the way turning. The elevator's not going all the way to the top floor. He's about 2 or 3 French fries short of a Happy Meal. The guy's not all the way there. And that's the worst ones. Has a little bit of strength and is crazy and he'll get active. That's the worst one. So that's the human shield right there. Okay. And these two individuals right here, I'm not sure if they're actually disabled. This person, you got the whole trans disabled thing. So I can't really say if they're actually disabled. And that person right here appears to be a male. But hey, I don't want to assume anybody's gender. So I'll just say that they're all human beings, apparently. Maybe they've not changed species. I think that I'm in the clear and I won't get anybody offended or butthurt or upset or triggered if I call them human beings. That's probably safe to say, okay? But we'll digress. All I'm saying is that this is pretty much what they do. They will hide behind the mask. You got a 99% white mob and mass who purport themselves to be for these 3 individuals right here. All right. And this guy might be disabled too. I mean, the look on his face, like I said, lights on, but ain't nobody home. Okay. That's what they do. Oh, did he get arrested, Deborah? Thank God, because he was a nut. His tattoos. Let me see if I can see his tattoos right quick. Hold on. It won't let me zoom in. Let me see if I can zoom in. And then we can see tats. All right. Wow. I see a Chinese symbol. Hold on. It's kind of weird, but this is necessarily the highest quality. This is like random. This is like jail tats, in my opinion. I don't see no gang tats. It's like something right here says 503. Die for duck. I don't know what it says. Die for something right here. And it's some kind of Chinese symbol. I don't speak or read Mandarin, so I don't know what's going on with that. That could mean beef fried rice, for all I know. I don't know what's going on. But yeah. Either way it goes, these people are crazy. And here's a nice close-up of this individual here. Now, like I said, I'm not really sure what their gender is, so I'll just say humans. We'll just roll with that. But if you were to tell me that's a biological woman, I might say, okay, let's just think for a minute here what's really going on. I'm not really sure. And one more thing I got to say. not to be hateful, just as a point of personal privilege, as they would say in the Communist Party of the West Coast. These transgender people, I mean, try to be a little bit more convincing. Try to be like Blair White. You know, Blair White got the whole the feminist stuff going on. It's like, all right, you're a dude and you are whatever you are, but at least you're trying to appear to be feminine. These individuals over here be looking like, you know what? You know who I blame? I blame Bruce Jenner. When he became Caitlyn, he didn't change his voice at all. He kept that same old, mid-level executive voice. I'm just totally confused. It's like, sir, you're looking like a supersized version of Barbara Walters, but you sound like Wilford Brimley in 1978. I'm not really sure what's happening, but I digress. All I'm saying is that these people are just kind of in this weird space that I'm not really sure exists on planet Earth. It might be the drugs. The big problem with Antifa in Portland and the big problem with the so-called protesters, it's the drug culture that exists all over the area. When you see a copious amount of drugs are just allowed to persist, San Francisco Bay Area, you're going to have these people that are out there. I'm willing to bet you a lot of these individuals are on drugs. And they don't have anything else to do with their lives, so they're going to come out here and protest and just act up. I mean, what better person to use as a human shield than somebody geeked up on PCP and give you that incredible Hulk strength? You could just punch your way through a wall. That's pretty much what they are on, in my humble opinion. You could get punched right in your face, not even feel it. Just eat that. Just, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Now, my question is, what is the actual end goal here for Antifa? Are they just here to just attack people? I don't even know what the purpose is. They're saying that the so-called far-right groups are racist and xenophobic and hateful, but the reality is I see more diversity and inclusion, tolerance, and peace in these so-called far-right groups like Joe Biggs's organization or wherever he brings than I see in Antifa. So, I mean, who's the racist? Who's the xenophobe? Who's the homophobe? Who's all these obics, opes, and this? There's a lot of projection going on here. Bearded Patriot says Antifa is being funded by outside sources. I wouldn't be surprised at all. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, because, the black mass ain't going to pay for itself. The batons ain't going to pay for itself. The bear spray ain't going to pay for itself. The transportation to Portland ain't going to pay for itself, because I doubt that all of them live right there. They're probably coming from neighboring states, maybe even very far away. If the press can come from Washington, D.C. to Portland, why can't the dope fiends come from other places to Portland for the purpose of protesting? You see what I'm saying? So that's pretty much what it is. Nah, it ain't. If it's weed that they're on, they got some new weed. They got that Antifa strain. The Antifa strain does something to your brain. I don't think regular people smoke that Antifa strain. You know, methamphetamine, heroin, crack, all of that. That's what's going on. Have there been any protests against the Portland mayor? Asked Rapper 10,000. I don't know. I've not seen it, but there could be. There could have been, but I've not seen it myself. Paul J 0557 says atrazine. I don't even know what that is, but hey, that might be what's going on. They might be on, some different kind of drugs. But there's a whole lot going on with that situation. Hopefully nobody gets seriously hurt. My man's out there again, if I'm not mistaken. What's my man's name? That guy? Oh, Andy No. I think he's out there. I think he's out there. I laugh because I saw something that's pretty crazy. Now, before I show you this, I think Andy No is out there again. If he's not out there, he's been posting a lot of stuff from the event. Hey, Andy No, please stay safe, man. You went out there before. Don't get hurt. Don't get hurt. But him going out there and getting hurt was unfortunate, but it proved what Antifa was all about. Now, let's go ahead and show this picture that kind of had me laughing a little bit. Now, all right, what is going on here? Is that what you want to wear when you get arrested? Is that what you want to wear when you go to jail? You just advertising yourself at that point. It's like, hey, I'm in jail. I'm locked up. Hey, come get me. Just talk to me. You know what I mean? That's what's going on. So, yeah, man, that was not a very good choice of shirt. And you know what? It's good to see these guys get unmasked. I think that the Portland mayor might mess around and get unmasked one day. as an Antifa person. Have you ever seen Ted Wheeler speak in front of an Antifa crowd? Like, have you seen Antifa like swarm like zombies, and then the mayor of Portland be right there at the same time talking in front of him with his just in regular clothes? I mean, the mayor could easily be this guy. That could be his outfit right there. He could have swapped outfits. He could have got that shirt from the mayor, judging by his appearance on Fox News. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, are we going to find some high-level officials in Antifa? That's my question. That's my concern. That's what I want to know. What's going on with that? But I digress. Hey, I'm not going to be able to put that shirt on my Teespring. That's not really going to happen. But if you do want some merchandise like this hat and shirts and whatnot, I have links in the description box, also up under the video in the carousel. But yeah, that shirt you just saw will not be one of them, and it will never be. That was crazy. But this is Antifa. This is Antifa. All right, so here's an example of the so-called racism that they purport themselves to be against, that they engage in. Let me see if I can play it right quick.
Race trader. The badge designed on everything. The star. Race trader. Yeah. For you to be a race trader, to be part of the neo-colonial machine.
Fun.
So if you didn't hear, they were saying, race trader, how are you part of this neo-colonial machine? You can always quit. So let me get this straight now. The tolerant and loving and not racist and peaceful Antifa came out and said to the officer, the black male right here, that you are a race trader. So, I mean, that statement is racist in so many different ways, not just one way. The first way is racist is to say that because he's black, he's a race trader. Like, you judge him based on his race. Okay, you're racist by that. You're judging him in a negative way. You don't even know this guy. That's number one. But number two, race trader, like, do all black folks get jammed up by the law? Can no black folks act right? Are we just, is every black person going to jail? And if I'm a police officer, I'm a traitor to my race. So we're just a jail class. Is that what they think? But hey, they're not racist. I'm the white supremacist over here. I'm the racist. I'm the race trader. I'm the evil guy. Got it. I'm with you. But hey, all I'm saying is hopefully Trump and the administration and anybody else, hopefully it's a bipartisan effort. If it has to be, maybe Trump can do an executive order and just declare them a terrorist organization. Okay, it's simple as that. That's all. All right. So it's a lot of stuff going on. I'm gonna shift gears a little bit to Jay-Z. I gotta talk about him. Oh my goodness. Have you guys seen the fallout from Jay-Z? Now, I've seen a lot more information. And if you don't know what happened to Jay-Z, basically this guy was very supportive of Colin Kaepernick in his protest against the NFL. People say that the protest was against police brutality, but the reality is that it was against the NFL. It's so simple. It's so clear to see. His whole thing was, okay, I can't get a job, and I'm going to just go out here and attack the NFL on my social media platforms. And my friends are going to do the same thing. They're going to be out here talking about protesting and not supporting the games, not going this, that, and the third. Now, there's a producer named Brian Michael Cox. He has a podcast. And on that podcast, he was talking about how Jay-Z, behind closed doors, was very anti-NFL. F the NFL. I don't need them. They need me. Matter of fact, a song came out with him and Beyonce, I think it might have been last year, where he said that exact same thing. I don't need the NFL. They need me. F them, basically. So all this anti-NFL talk, all this pro-Kaepernick talk, all this about how the NFL need me, this, that, and the third, and he was telling people actively, don't go do the NFL halftime show. Travis Scott, hey, don't do the NFL halftime show. He called Jermaine Dupri, another producer, big-time guy who was behind the career of Usher. He called him on the phone and said, don't do the deal that Jay-Z just did. And that phone call was less than a year ago. Okay? So this guy's a big-time hypocrite. All that stuff about social justice and fighting for equality and rights. That's just it's bogus, man. I've been saying that from the beginning. It's all about money. Money talks, BS walks. He don't care about none of that stuff. It's just lying. He has a lot of money, Jay-Z does. And he didn't necessarily get that money in a totally honest way. I'm not necessarily judging him for being a very, I guess you would call it, shrewd businessman, but I am judging him for his public persona, which is false. You coming out here talking about how much you hate the NFL and you get right in bed with him. You grinning right next to Roger Goodell, but just last year you hated him. What changed between last year and right now is because you got the deal. You did some dirty, underhand stuff to be able to get it. Was it worth it? Is what I'm saying. You got plenty of money, so I guess more money was worth more than keeping your persona out as what it was to the public. But hey, one thing I will say, it's a pro and con to this whole thing. The pro is that we can no longer. The pro is that we won't hear too much about Colin Kaepernick anymore because now you got Jay-Z. Like, if the NFL has Jay-Z, what can be said about the NFL being racist? But the unfortunate part about that is now you've pretty much married social justice to the NFL. Now, I already kind of stopped watching the NFL, and I grew up a big football fan. You know, from a youngin', I had Cowboys bed sheets when I was like 7 or 8 years old. I had posters on my wall with Dan Marino, not Dan Marino, Troy Aikman. I had Dan Marino too, that's a different story. But Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, back then, like in the mid-90s, I had all of that stuff. And then the Vikings, of course, Randy Moss from my hometown, Rand, West Virginia. But ever since, you keep having these stories about social justice and police brutality and this and that. It's like, man, look, am I watching Lifetime or am I watching the NFL? I want to have an aggressive game that you can just release stress and tension and you can enjoy the sweet science of it. And then they added so many rules and flags and reviews. It's like the game ain't what it was. I'd rather watch basketball because basketball does have some of the SJW stuff, but not as much as the NFL and not as much of, you know, the rules and concussion protocols. It's just too much stuff. It's more of a free-flowing, exciting game versus NFL football, which has been watered down by the culture and also by the safety hazard situation. So it's unfortunate they're going to keep going down that road. That'll make me like the NFL that much less, is what I'm saying. But like I said, it's good that we'll hear less about Colin Kaepernick from this point as it relates to the NFL. In my humble opinion, it might go on for a little while longer. People talking about how they're mad about Jay-Z. But Jay-Z is married to Beyonce. People love Beyonce, so that ain't going nowhere. But I'm not surprised. Oh, Greenland. I'm talking about Greenland right quick. Greenland. People said that, oh, matter of fact, it's this person right here. I'll play this clip right quick. Matter of fact, let me see if I can get to the meat of the conversation. Hold on. Let me see if I can get it. Now, Trump was allegedly talking about trying to buy Greenland from the Kingdom of Denmark. But let's see what she says about it.
Let's talk about taking land from indigenous interests. I'm a little concerned when I hear a descendant of colonizers talk about taking land from indigenous people. You know, like the Inuit people have been there for centuries, and we're very flimsily talking about taking their autonomous land.
Okay, first of all, like I just said, you may have some Inuit there, but that land belongs to the Kingdom of Denmark. Okay, not the Inuit people. But let's continue.
I don't know if you remember in May 2018, Donald Trump talked about, white settlers who came here and tamed a continent. So we kind of know how he feels and views this space. So I think that's of concern, particularly for the people there. And I wonder, this is something, his supporters are like just blind followers of his. And I just wonder when this becomes a talking point of his on the campaign trail, can anybody at the MAGA rally point out Greenland on a map?
Okay, so now we're just all dumb. We don't know anything about geopolitics or geography at all. I can name probably all countries on planet Earth right now from my memory. If I can write it down, it's about 193 countries. I can name all countries. I can name some of the, Kosovo and Taiwan, stuff like that. I can name some of those too. And the islands like Tuvalu, Vanuatu, Kiribati. I can name all of those. So you're unfairly characterizing us as just dumb. But that's what the left does. They talk about people on the right being prejudiced and, judgmental, but they do the exact same thing they accuse us of doing. We don't do it as much as they do. It's projection.
Be very interested and curious to see, or tell us what kind of government Greenland is, or who the indigenous people are. I highly doubt it. So I think when you have such a lack of understanding of global diplomacy, you can easily throw out these asinine ideas and have,
Now, first of all, okay, that's pretty much a wrap for that. Now, to buy Greenland wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea. It's not an asinine thing to talk about, because we purchased Alaska from the Russian Empire in the 1860s. So why is that, a thing that is just totally off the wall? Second of all, Greenland, you're talking about places like in the Arctic, or has some land in the Arctic. And the Arctic right now is a very important region for shipping routes and also for natural resources, fresh water, oil, all of that. So it wouldn't necessarily be a thing that's unheard of. China's trying to get that. I guarantee you right now, China's trying to get it. Russia's trying to get it. Matter of fact, people are trying to take pieces of the North Pole of that, like, it's not even a land, man. It's like some ice. They're trying to take pieces of the area of the North Pole, okay, for themselves, because it's going to be very important when you're talking about in the future shipping lanes. That's why China right now has a South China Sea, because of shipping lanes. The area is very important. A lot of people are right there. A lot of raw goods flow through there. Oil, food, water, all of that flows right through the South China Sea. So they're trying to take that over and dominate the whole shipping lane. And also stuff in the water, a lot of rare earth minerals, a lot of food, a lot of fish, a lot of things are in the water and by the water and have to float on top of the water. But see, I don't think that this person, Tiffany Cross, understands anything about that. She may have went on Wikipedia for a moment and looked at, Greenland, who owns it, or who's the governor of it. Is it autonomous, semi-autonomous? Is it totally controlled? She may know that, but she doesn't know anything about geopolitics for real. So, buying Greenland would make sense because other countries want that. I can guarantee you. If we can't get it, I guarantee you China's trying to get that. Russia wants it. And Denmark is trying to hold on. I probably even Sweden might want that. Or Norway, some of the more, the Nordic countries would want that too. UK might want that 100%. So, yeah, I want to talk about that right quick because that was kind of on my mind. What else we got? Oh, Rashida Tlaib versus Israel. Oh, man, this is a good one I want to talk about for a moment. We'll get to the calls in a little bit. But Rashida Tlaib, man, that whole thing was a really botched effort to try and embarrass Israel. Totally botched, obvious. It was terrible. Okay, so Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar were not granted entry visas because they're very critical of Israel. That's normal. Any country would do that. If you had a person that's going to come to America from a different country that is a known critic, that hates America, that does not want to have America be America anymore, and they have a high political position, why would we allow them into the country? For what? China would do the same thing. Japan would do the same thing. Everybody does that. If you got a right mind, unless you're France or something like that, with Macron in charge, you let pretty much anytime they can hear you into it, but that's a different story. You're supposed to actually screen people out. Allowing a visa into the country should be the equivalent of allowing an immigrant into the country to a certain extent. Not as stringent, obviously, but it should be some kind of rules there. You don't just say, okay, anybody coming to the country. If you've been caught on videotape for the last 10 years practicing how to make a bomb while screaming on law walk bar, maybe you shouldn't come into the country on a visa and get on a plane to the country. Maybe. I'm just saying. That's an extreme case, but you understand what I mean. So Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar were very critical of Israel, and they were not allowed an entry visa. They were promoting the BDS, and they also said they're going to Palestine. They didn't say Israel. So it was like, all right, what's Palestine? What's that? It's a region maybe, but is it a country? I don't think that the UN recognizes Palestine as a country. But anyway, they say they're going to Palestine, not Israel. They support BDS. They don't like Israel. Why would you want to go, and why would you be accepted? So Rashida Tlaib writes a letter to the interior minister of Israel crying about her sick grandma, her city, talking about, oh, my city, she's sick, she's 90 years old, I'll never see her again. Please let me in the country. I promise to not protest Israel, and I promise that I'm going to follow your laws. She said that in the letter. So she set her own terms upon which she was going to follow. So then they come out and say, all right, your visa has been granted. So come see your grandma. You can do that, and it's fine. You said you're not going to protest. You won't be rabble rousing. Cool. Here's your visa. The very next day, not even the full 24 hours later, she comes back and say, well, I don't want to go because I can't protest. It's like, what? How are you accusing them of denying you of your right to protest when you said that you weren't going to protest? You gave them the terms. They accept your terms, and then you say that your own terms aren't acceptable. If your own terms are not acceptable, then why did you make them? It doesn't make any sense. Well, it does make sense because she wanted to go there to embarrass them. That's what it was. She did not want to get accepted. What she wanted to do was to have the letter on Twitter and show it and be like, see, they hate me, my grandma, she's almost dead, it's racist, it's that, and the third. That was the whole point, to try and expose them, to expose them that way, to screenshot them like a girl on Instagram. You understand what I'm saying? That's the kind of level mind state that she's at. And it didn't work. Now she's got egg all over her face. See, they were correct to not grant her an entry visa. You're lying. You're manipulating people in high levels of government. Come on, man. I would not let you come into my house to walk my dog or to scrub up my toilet, let alone come into my country if you're a high-ranking official and be rabble-rousing and start drama. It's been fighting right there in that region for millennia. Why would you want anybody to come in there that's going to start more drama than you already have? It's a simple kind of thing. So, yeah, shout out to Rashida Tlaib. She never seen her grandma before. I'm not surprised. She could have been gone to Israel before and never went. I mean, but I wonder why. She never seen her grandma and has no intention to see her. She didn't want to go see her. That was an excuse to try and get into the country that way. That's what that is. All right, and then what else we got? Oh, the Philly police shootings. Now, there have been actually 2 mass shootings in Philadelphia this week, back to back. The one I covered, which was 6 officers getting shot, but the very next day in Philadelphia, you had 5 people got shot. I don't think anybody died. Maybe somebody did die. I'm not quite sure. If you know, let me know in the comments below. But 5 people got shot the next day. So 2 different mass shootings happened within a 48-hour period. Did you even hear about the second one at all? Did you hear about that? I don't think you did. And the one with the police officers, that's pretty much done. The media covered it because it was hot, it was going on, but you won't hear about that anymore. And I said that in my video. I was like, look, since there's no white man to blame, you would not hear about that anymore. It will not be an important subject to cover because they can't push their narrative. They can't talk about gun control because the guy was a felon, repeat felon with violent crime, drugs, kidnapping, evading the police, fighting the police, just an overall dirtbag that was a menace to society who had been terrorizing that area for a very long time. Okay. So the gun control argument does not work in that particular case. And the whole argument about white male shooters is not working in that case either because he's a black male. Black male with illegal guns who was a repeat felon offender. There's no narrative to spin there, so they're not going to cover that story anymore. That's going to be pretty much done. And then the very next day, you got 5 people to get shot. But they're probably all black and most likely with a black suspect. Again, no story to cover. It's simple. People say, oh, well, because nobody died or maybe one person died, not really a big deal. Well, who died in Charlottesville and how did they die? It wasn't even no gun involved with that. You're talking about a guy that ran his car into people and one person died. They talk about that almost every day. But 6 officers get shot in one day in one city and it goes away after 48 hours. 24 hours is done. 5 people get shot. It makes no national news at all. We see what's going on here. We see what they're trying to actually push, what the narrative is. Big bad white man is the problem and the poor innocent so-called person of color is a victim. That's all they want to cover. If it ain't that, then they're not interested in it. I've seen people in my comment section say that they have been approached by media about a situation, about a shooting. And when it's found out that the person that was the shooter was not a white male, then there's no more interest. I mean, at this point in time, people are starting to totally shy away from the media. They're done with the media because they know they're just all a bunch of liars. They're all trying to push their certain political ideology and not talking about facts. As simple as that. But thank y'all for being here. I'm going to certainly appreciate you. All right. And Miss got about 1,000 in the room. Oh, Don Lemon. I'll talk about him right quick before we get to the calls. Don Lemon. Now, I had seen this case probably about last week or like whenever it broke. It's been a while since it broke, you know, so I'm kind of late to the party, but at the same time, I'm not because I saw it, but I didn't want to do a video right away because I want to just get a little bit of information. So now you have a witness. That whole case was crazy. The guy talking about he stuck his hands down his pants and put his fingers in his nose, all kind of just weird stuff, really just weird, drunk, gay stuff from Don Lemon. Now, it might be true. It might be false. If it's true, I would not be surprised at all. It'd make sense coming from a guy like Don Lemon. Okay, coming from CNN. These guys at CNN, man, don't go to any more bars. You got Chris Cuomo on videotape trying to, you know, be Mr. New York tough guy, talking about, I'll throw you down the stairs, this, that, and the third. You know, getting all on the dude's face, talking crazy, saying the F word every 2.5 seconds. You understand what I'm saying? And then here comes Don Lemon being accused of sexual assault. Not surprised at all. Don Lemon, not to make fun of it, but Don Lemon was abused himself as a child. Okay. And that's generally how it goes. If you see a guy that's, you know, a sexual abuser, there was abuse to them when they were a child as well. That's R. Kelly all day long. That's his story. I would not be surprised if Don Lemon was another R. Kelly. Not to that extreme, but as far as having a sexual deviant history that you really don't know about until things get exposed out there on the internet or from the police or whatever. Wouldn't be surprised. And I wonder what his boyfriend or husband, whatever, thinks. Like, you out there getting on one knee, this, that, and the third. Here your husband is in the bar grabbing on dudes, twigging berries. What's going on with that? Allegedly. You know, I can't prove it, but we do have an accuser and a witness. We do have that. All right. So I don't know. And they're going public knowing how CNN is. They've shown their face and all that. So if they're going to do something like that, they pretty much, I tend to believe that more than not. Because CNN would get onto your background. They're going to threaten you. They're going to try to dox you, all that stuff. And they've done that before. So it's not, you know, some kind of guess or some kind of just wild accusation. They've done that before. That's part of their track record. So if they did it again, I would not be surprised. That's what they do. So for them to go out and be public like that, showing their name in their face, kind of lets me know that they may be serious and not necessarily trying to just defame CNN or Don Lemon. But like I said, it's all an allegation right now until we get, you know, more proof. But the whole thing with Chris Cuomo was on videotape, so there ain't no allegation. That's the actual fact. And I think April Ryan had a little kerfuffle happen to her. She was at some event as a keynote speaker, and a guy got thrown out right in front of her. I don't know what happened with that, but CNN is pretty much a dumpster fire at this point, and it's a shame. It used to be a good network, but the self-inflicted injuries they did have caused them to just fall. You got these unstable individuals as anchors, as high visibility people, and then you have the programming is always Orange Man bad, Russia, Russia, Russia. It's a bad mix. You're gonna lose individuals like that. Now, what I want to see is Brian Stelter's creepy closet, because if you look at Brian Stelter's face, I would almost want to bet that if you go to his computer and you look, you might find something you don't want to see. But I'll leave that right there for now, so I digress. Thank y'all for joining. I'm going to certainly appreciate you. DD Cat says, hello, CNN. Is Fredo there? Hey, exactly. Where is Fredo at? But, yeah, super chats to read right quick before we get to the calls. And again, thank y'all for joining. I definitely appreciate you. Shout out to Luciano, who says the NFL is worth at least $100 billion. Jay is worth barely $1 billion after selling out to the Illuminati. Who needs who? Exactly. Hey, that's a good point right there, because Jay-Z was like, I don't need the NFL, this, that, and the third. Yes, he does. They have plenty of capital that you do not have access to. And speaking about that, I heard that Jay-Z wants to become an owner of an actual team. That is hilarious. Okay, hold on. Majority ownership? No way. Hold on. Wait. Now, here's a article from The Root. Take it with a grain of salt. The Root is like reading the Inquirer, basically. It's like a newsstand in a grocery store magazine. When you're in checkout, it's like right there. That's what you get from The Root. But anyway, Jay-Z reportedly to get majority ownership in NFL team. Eric Reed calls move despicable. Now, Eric Reed was Colin Kaepernick's friend. If you see Colin Kaepernick kneeling and stuff on the sideline when he was on the 49ers, the guy that's beside him is Eric Reed. And by the way, Eric Reed has some nerve to talk. Eric Reed got the money with Colin Kaepernick that they got from the NFL from the settlement because of, I don't know, collusion against him or whatever. That whole case, they settled out of court, and they got about $5 million each. I thought it was like $80 million total, but it was $10 million total, right around that, and they had to split that. So they got about 5, and then you got to pay taxes. It's like 2, 2.5 or 3. But anyway, I digress. So he got that money, and then he went back into the NFL. He's in the league right now in the Carolina Panthers. So Eric Reed, you were kneeling, protesting the NFL, hated the NFL, but you also got settlement money in millions of dollars, and you're on the team right now. So you can't talk, sir. Like, you are with the people that he's with too. Y'all doing the same thing. Y'all could actually do business together. What'd be hilarious is if Jay-Z became the owner of the Carolina Panthers, which is Eric Reed's team, and you want to call him despicable, he could be the guy writing your checks, but that's a different story. Majority ownership, but 6 months ago, it was F the NFL, right? I'm telling y'all, man, these people are so fake. But let me get to the calls. Oh, super chats before we get to the calls. Thank you to Cass Arthur, who says, big fan from Canada, Anthony. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you for your donation and your support. Your very kind words. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Stymie, who says, ABL, George Soros funds a lot of this mess that Antifa does. Yeah, I've seen him actually fund these people. Like, I've seen actual evidence of him doing that. So it's not a conspiracy theory, but thank you for your donation. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Brett Sessoms, who says, Israel was right to ban Ilhan Omar, 1,000%. And also, if I may add, Rashida Tlaib. Thank you to Julie Nelson, who says, I know this is off subject, but why is no one talking about the back taxes Al Sharpton owes? Bless you. You are greatly appreciated. But thank you for your donation and your very kind words. Yeah, that's old money that he's been owing. And I think that he cut some kind of deal with people to not be able to owe that anymore, or to kind of like gloss over it. And Al Sharpton is a nut, though. Al Sharpton is also an FBI snitch. He got caught up in some drug stuff with the mob back in the 80s in New York, and he snitched on the mob, if I'm not mistaken, to get out of that jam. I could be wrong, but I know he's an FBI snitch. That part is correct. The story behind it may be a little inaccurate, but he is an FBI snitch. And thank you to Jamal Brown for your donation, man. Definitely appreciate you, boss. All right, let me get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Yes, he did, Michelle A. He had a Black Republican song, Black Republican with Nas. I think that might have been Nas's song, and Jay-Z was on it. Yes, he did have that. But, his actions after that song were really, super liberal, super far left. But it could have just been all a game to get that money up out of the left. Who knows? But we get to the calls in just a moment. Again, the number to call is 434-658-1220. And thank y'all for joining already. I definitely appreciate you. We got how many in the room? We got about 1,996 in the room. If you're in here just now for the first time, please give the video a thumbs up. I like the video. Likes are free. And also subscribe to the channel. Once you subscribe, click the bell right beside the subscribe button. Click that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or post a new video. Alrighty. Now let's see if Skype wants to act right. I had an update on my computer. Skype might not even be here no more. I don't even know what's going on. Let's see. Let's just roll the dice and see what's going on with Skype. All right. Oh, I'm so surprised. It started right up. Normally it'll just do whatever it wants to do, just kind of randomly. All right. Let me just make sure that all my stuff is working properly. And okay, everything's working properly, but now I got to cut off the ring and then we're good to go. And I hope that the update allows me to constantly keep the ring off. That'd be good. But I doubt that will actually happen. There we go. All right, I call you on the line. 216, who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's good, ABL?
What's happening, man? Who is this?
It's good. It's this brother Barlow.
All right, man. What's going on?
Man, I'm gonna talk about Rashida Tlaib?
Yeah.
Maybe me and her might have something in common because when my grandmother was alive, I wasn't really close with her, you know. And we know she's using it as a publicity stunt, but I would never use my grandma. I wasn't even close to my grandma. You know, she's done some wicked things. You know, God rest her soul. But I would never use her in a situation to go over Israel or attempt to go over to Israel and then rescind talking about you don't want to go. That's one thing. I don't know what their relationship was, but I would never do something, man. That's despicable for Rashida Tlaib to even do something like that.
I agree.
And furthermore, she could be lying. I mean, who knows? Maybe she lying about the grandma. I don't know. And also the whole Antifa thing, as far as them being a hate group, the president could push for that, man. But you know the ACLU ain't gonna go for that. They ain't gonna go for no Antifa being labeled as a hate group because they want to put it on white people, white conservative type of people to, you know, to be considered hate group. But that's all I gotta say, man. Enjoy your show.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. All right, and that's a good point about the ACLU. They're not going to go for it. But see, if it's a federal thing, if it's like a law, then yeah, that's going to be what it is. They need to get put in the same category with Bloods, Crips, Vice Lords, GDs, VLs. What else? Latin Kings, La MA, like gangs, like actual street gangs. That's what it is. It ain't nothing else but that. But the thing about them is that they're not out there really doing active game banger stuff that you normally would see. They're just fighting people that they don't like. So they're like a dope fiend gang basically. But let me get to my next call. Alrighty, let's go to 203. You on the line? Who am I speaking to?
Hello?
Yes, who am I speaking to?
Yeah, this is Kevin from Connecticut. How are you?
Everything is great, man. I got a little bit of feedback in the background. Can you turn your sound off in the background for me?
I got you, boss. How you doing?
Oh, everything is great, man. Can't complain.
Yeah, I was watching your show just earlier. And the thing is my question is, how can another white person call another white person racist?
Well, if they're racist, then they're racist. I'm not really sure if it matters who says it.
Okay, and would it be the same? Would it be the same thing for if another black person called another black person racist?
Yes. Yeah, anybody can be racist, 100%.
All right. Okay, but the thing with me is that a lot of the stuff that's going on right now in the world, all right, it's full with hypocrisy.
Yeah, okay, but like, can you expand on that?
Huh?
Can you expand on that for me?
Well, it's like, okay, first of all, it's like, all right, it's like, all right, let's say I tell you not to put your hand on a stove, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden I put my own hand on the stove after I told you not to do it. So basically, we live in a society right now is do as I say, not as I do. You see, it goes way to the Bible where it says there's a generation that is pure in their own eyes, but have not cleansed from their filthiness. Am I right?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what the scripture says.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
Because these politicians, like they're so, like, for instance, like they get mad at, like, all right, for instance, you know how like the far left are like, they're like, for instance, they're like, we're going to get after these politicians because they're corrupt when it comes to money because they get all these lobbyists to give them money, right?
Yeah.
Right, but look at AOC. All right, she says she's against all that, but now she is tied to it. Do you see where I'm going with the hypocrisy now?
Well, I'm trying to follow you here, but as far as like, what do you mean? Like people saying that, a particular thing is racist and is wrong and is bad, but then those same folks are tied to.
But then they're going to do that. But they're going to do the same thing.
Oh yeah, of course.
They're going to cry rape. They're crying rape so much that when the rape does happen, no one's going to believe them.
Yeah, it's like the boy who cried wolf. 100% correct.
Yeah, but that's where we're at right now. But they're so, see, the thing is that they're so against of what they're doing, or they're so against of what's going on, but they're actually perpetrating the stuff too.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're dipping their water in the hot kettle.
Yeah, but that's what they do on the left, and a lot of that is projection.
You know and I'm not just saying the left too. I'm saying that the far right does it too now. You got rhinos in there that do it too.
Yeah.
Republicans in name only.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
I have not called to condemn just one side. All right. I'm condemning both sides because they're both guilty of the same crime.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm more of like I'm more neutral because I think it's like so funny how they can say and do stuff to where it's all right for them to do it, right? And it's all right for them to call it out, but then all of a sudden when the dirt gets picked up on them, they're ready to call foul. Then you're a racist and you're a bigot. You know, last time I checked, facts don't have feelings.
That's right, 100%.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So is that they're so content of calling you out of what you're doing, but then they're so easy to cover up what they're doing.
I got you, man. But I thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
No problem.
All right, now take care.
You too.
All right, shout out to the caller. And the number to call is 434-658-1220. I'm gonna try to get to everybody as soon as I can. 865, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Aaron up here in Sevierville, Hills of Tennessee, ABL.
Yes, indeed. How's everything?
I'm good. Last time I called, everybody blowed up in the comments saying, "Oh, Dollywood." Yes, I am near Dollywood. I can hear the fireworks when they go off.
Oh, wow.
So I just want to touch on everything that you got in the description real quick. The Antifa, they have got to make those Antifa. That's a hate group. That's a terrorist group. They have got to do it. It's crazy. It's brown shirts of Nazis, basically.
Yes, absolutely.
The Jay-Z situation, he's just a total phony. It's just flip-flopping. Oh, I can make some money. Well, don't go protest because we already done that, is what he's saying. We already done that. We got to do something different now. Now he's got a contract. He don't want people jumping on their knees.
That's right, because, you got to make money now, and that can't make any money.
Right. I don't want to look like a sellout, but that's exactly what I am. Let my wife do the concerts for NFL for the next 10 years. That's what's happening.
That's right.
The Rashida Tlaib, the Ilmar, whatever their crazy names is,
yeah,
they're just anti-Israel. They hate everything that Israel and Jews stand for. Why would you let them in your country? Why let them come in and cause hate and make a ruckus? It's ridiculous.
That's right.
Philly police, come on, man. These guys are out here risking their lives every day to keep people safe. It don't matter what city, what town, what county, wherever you're at. Cops are risking their life every day, and you want to throw water on them, cuss them, push them around, laugh at them because their co-workers are getting shot. It's crazy, man. What's people thinking anymore? What's going on, man? Come on.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's drugs. Personally, people that out there acting crazy, it's drugs. It's the media. It's the general tone in the country that comes from the media that is sent to the left. You can just disrespect police and do all that.
Drugs is part of the problem. It's a big problem, but ABL, I tell you, it's a institutionalized. If for generations, your grandma, your great grandma, your mama, your cousins, your neighbors, I'll tell you that white people hate you, cops hate you, everybody hates you. You're a loser. You're a victim. What are you going to think? You don't know anything different. It's institutionalized victimhood. We have got to wake these people up and let them know you're in America. You have the greatest chance, the best chance in the world of any country to make something of yourself and to live a good life.
That's right. 100%.
It's just sad, man. I worry about this country every day.
Yeah, I mean, I feel where you're coming from, but I think there's still a lot of people, a lot of good people out there that don't want to be involved with this craziness that's happening with a lot of other folks. So I think that those of us that are on the right side will prevail over those that are on the wrong side.
I agree. It's hard to keep your chin up sometimes, but I agree with you. I wake up every day thinking it's bad, but I got to just keep the voice out there that, hey, there's still hope out there. There's still love. We can win. We can overcome all this. I mean, it's going to work out in the end, but it seems dark sometimes. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And I just want to ask you real quick before I let you go. I know you got a lot of callers on the line. The last time I called, it's been a few weeks ago, I asked you about if you had dug anything up on Corker from the local, since you're in that area, the dirty land dealings that was going on, the reason why he jumped out of his Senate seat.
Okay, now I did ask about that, actually. I had a meeting with some people, and I did ask about it. And one person I know knows him, and they're conservative, and they said they've known him to be an honest person, and they don't quite know about the land dealing situation. But as far as anything that happened, they said that he was not in government. But I don't know if that's true or false. All I know is that the person said that they're an honest person, and that's it. But if there's anything else that happened, I just don't know about it.
Okay, I was just wondering. I heard some scuttlebutt, and I was just wondering. That's why I asked you, because you're in the area. Thank you, ABL, brother from another mother. I love that you're a voice of reason on the internet out here, giving people something to hope in. And God bless you. I love you, man. I'm out.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. All righty. Great call from my man up there in the Smoky Mountains, up by Dollywood, not too far from, the place, the epicenter, where it all started with Dolly Parton. All right. But let me get to my next call here. 208, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 208, I cannot hear you, boss, if you're talking.
Yo, are you there?
I'm here. Who am I speaking to?
John.
All righty, John, what's going on?
Not much. Hey, we're starting a anti-Antifa group. It's called SAF, Stop Antifa Forever. We're going after them. We're gonna start going after these people. Are you guys up for it or what? We're gonna get this live stream like a lot better than that, but yeah, I'm starting the group. If you guys all want to join, we're going to start going around from city to city and just jumping onto people. We're going to throw them in vans, do whatever. We're going to send them out in the Pacific Ocean. They're terrorists.
Wow. I'll know about all of that, but I think the best place to start would be to designate them as a terrorist organization and do it the right way.
I don't know. Sometimes you just got fight fire with fire. You guys know what I mean?
Hey, I feel where you're coming from, man, but I think we got to do things the right way, because I ain't trying to get locked up behind that. You must run and do that. The police be right there, and then you go to jail. So, value your own freedom over the lunatics on the left.
Oh, yeah, we're not going to do nothing violent. It's called SAF, Stopping Antifa Forever. That's all we're about. We're going to go to every city, every town, and all we're going to do is just, I don't know, basically troll these people. But we're going to get every one of them arrested, put in jail. We're going to get them Epstein in their jail.
No. All right. Thank you for the call. Come on, man. Epstein in the jail. Come on, we can't be doing that. The ABL Live does not promote any violence against anybody. So if you want to be stomping on people for no reason, man, that's Antifa. That's what they do. All right, let's get to the next call. Let's try 520. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello?
Yes, 520. Who am I speaking to?
This is Debbie.
All right, Debbie, turn your speakers on in the background for me, please.
Okay, sure will. Let me turn you off, darn.
All righty, so what's going on?
Hey, listen, I just wanted to let you know, I'm in your stream, been in many of them, and my husband and I, we travel the country every summer, and this summer we were really paying attention to what people were like. Black, white, Asian, Hispanic. Who cares? We're Americans, right? Mm-hmm. And we're traveling around, literally, from New Mexico, drove up to Zion National Park and Yellowstone, and now we're went up almost to the Canadian border, and now headed kind of back home, but we've just made the curve down and sitting in Minneapolis, and there is no hate. Not like we see all over social media. It's just not here in America. Maybe on the coast, maybe, random things, but there's not hate in America like we see on social media shoved in our faces.
You're right about that. Just regular everyday people going to work, going to school, going to enjoy themselves, baseball games, football games,
going
hanging
fishing,
out. They're not
going to the store. Hey,
yeah.
How are you? Here, have my card. Just not the hate. I expected, oh my God, I'm gonna have to, conceal carry and Jesus, watch where I go shop, and it's just not out there like everybody wants people to think America's so full of hate and we hate each other. No, it's not out here. Not in the Midwest, not up and down the middle of the country.
Right, exactly. 100%.
Okay, just wanted to kind of check in and go, hey, we've been traveling all summer long. I can't wait to get home, but yeah, it's an invasion down there. I don't care what people say. 1 million people coming in unasked, uninvited is an invasion. And I don't care what country they're from, Congo, Cuba, it doesn't matter. They're invading our country.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, people come over here, in caravans, thousands of people. They're hopping the border. They're doing all kind of things to subvert the law. That's an invasion. That's what it is. You got to name it and claim it.
Yeah. And the military has, I heard on somebody else's live stream, she's got a son in the military, and he's been evac'd to, they're moving more troops to the border again. So they're getting more serious about it. But where I live, I'm telling you, it's a plain invasion. And they're in your face. Where's my money? Where's my food stamps? I'm like, oh my God, I've worked 40 years of my life for, whatever I got. I'm not pulling it out of my pocket for people I didn't invite here. You need help? Fine, I'll help you. But I'm not helping some stranger that just wandered across the border going, give me.
Right.
Aw. Well, thank you, ABL. Love watching your stream. Just wanted people to know, in the comments we were all talking, it's just not the hate that everybody's showing on TV or we're watching on other YouTube. It's not out there in most of America here.
Well, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Yes, they are building the wall. Oh my gosh, yes, that is helping so much. So the We Build the Wall people, the section they put up is awesome. There was the drug traffickers had moved because the wall was built over near El Paso more, so they kind of moved onto this guy's land in New Mexico, and they were just child trafficking. I mean, why are people against the wall? They're bringing children in to be trafficked to people like Epstein. The drugs pouring over. So We Built the Wall went out there, and 30 days later, he had a wall on his whole, all his property.
There you go. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I saw somebody ask in the comments. All right, well, thank you, ABL. I'll let you get on to your next callers. Love your show.
All right, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate her. And the number to call is 434-658-1220. Okay, I got super chats to read real quick before we get to the next call. Thank you to Richard Cruz, who says ABL for president. Oh, you're far too kind. I thank you for that, though. I definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Dixie George, who says, love you, ABL. Hey, love you right back. Thank you for your donation and your very kind words. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Kevin Duggan, who says, racist equals in the conversation. That's usually how it is. As soon as the artwork comes out, it's hard to come back from that. Thank you to No Good, who says, sup, ABL, might visit West Virginia this month. Any suggested stops you think I should make? Definitely got to go over the Garley Bridge, the Garley Mountain. That's beautiful. Don't dive off that bridge like some people like to do. Just go by there, the Garley Mountain. If you're gonna go to Charleston, you can go pretty much downtown, see some of that. Anywhere on the river, if they can do some rafting or some fishing or something like that. But aside from that, I'm not really sure, man. Just enjoy it. You'll be going at a good time. It'll be close to fall almost, and you might see some of the trees turn. Oh, it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. You go up there on a nice sunny day and just go through it. But yeah, it's all you got caves, you got all kind of caverns. The caverns are beautiful. Yeah, just go and just kind of explore. They have that dead zone, radio dead zone. I wouldn't go there because you can't use your cell phone up there. It's some spots you can go, but definitely the Garley Bridge, Garley Mountain. Oh man, it's beautiful, man. But thank you for your donation. Definitely appreciate you. But let me get to my next call here. Alrighty. All right, call you on the line, 856, who am I speaking to?
Hello, sir. How are you? This is Eileen from Oligarch Stolen and Usurped, Philadelphia.
Alrighty. How's everything going?
Everything is okay. I am a Trump supporter, so we have a better outlook on life, I think. I give you great credit. You had the patience of a saint, sir. I have a lot of information that I have been sitting on. I do blog as well. I'm one of those AKA alt news type people, but I'm not as prominent as yourself and brave and bold and in front of, the scene on the front lines like you. But I am in the back and really trying to wake people up, but it's almost like, voice in the wilderness sometimes in a city like Philadelphia. So what I've noticed, I've made a website called False Flag and Fake News in 2014, before fake news was news. So I happen to be a relative to a politician in Philadelphia, and some of the laws that he was passing were kind of like signals as to something wasn't quite right. And people don't understand what's going on. And we have, different segments of things that are happening that don't seem connected, but they're indeed coordinated and connected. And they have a historical tie that we're not educated about. So we don't see the continuum.
Okay.
So, and when I say that, again, we have to kind of get out of the weeds a little bit. It's oftentimes we can't see the forest for the trees, and these, I know, are cliches, but what I'm noticing on the street and prior to Trump's win was something that people don't often talk about, but when you talk about Bolsheviks or Trotskyites and then make the through line to socialism, you can see a continuum. People don't associate the takeover of city schools with Bill Ayers, but in Philadelphia, his experiment was to bring Edison schools. And one of the things that they were doing as a contingency is the children would have to suffer to watch CNN all day, or for the most part of the day, as a curriculum. Now, Bill Ayers is the gentleman, I'm saying that nicely, who was the founder of Weather Underground. And people don't realize Barack Obama spent a lot of his formative years living in his home. And prior to becoming president, he was working in the same building in Chicago with Bill Ayers on the issue of taking over schools. So therefore, you can implement a social justice warrior curriculum as we see manifest.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, this is, I'm just, like I said, a voice in the wilderness. I'm a young black lady from Philly, so, a lot of times, our people have a thing about know-it-all. So, I got to give them to them in small doses. And a lot of what I'm saying is over people's heads because it's hard to even fathom. First of all, United States being in a war, or a civil war as it really truly is. You're starting to hear people's voices saying those terms now, and that I feel that one of the things that separates a lot of people that are Trump supporters, no matter what the color, is a belief in the Most High or spirituality in common, as opposed to the overt satanic nature of some of these people that you mentioned that they look strange and on all kinds of drugs, but that's no accident, because again, when you go back to Bolshevism, it just so happened that the 100-year anniversary would have coincided with Clinton's inauguration, which was highly planned, and that would be a continuum, of course, of Barack Obama's objectives. So, here you have a Bill Ayers-made man as a so-called Manchurian candidate, literally, and again, when we talk about CIA and Deep State and global, all these brands and titles, they have in our brain told our brains to add conspiracy theory, as one and the same. That actual conspiracy is just a theory, and nothing could be farther from the truth. Again, it is a historical continuum that's happening, including, we hear the term Nazi this, Nazi that, but it is truly a real phenomenon that the Nazi scientists were born here under the Project Paperclip, paradigm. And therefore, one of the things that they were good at was causing mass hysteria and brainwashing. So when we hear about Mockingbird media and so on and so forth, the veil has been lifted, the onions being peeled away, we are having epiphanies and revelations, but it's just so much to grasp that, we discount the reality of these paradigms that were so dangerous. And one of the things is the people, I would say, if you look at the age of some of the people that would have constituted the Bolshevik movement, which evolved into Trotskyites, which you hear about Saul Alinsky and his free lunch paradigm being passed on to Hillary Clinton, as a student. These people they're not a myth. And if you think about the age of these people, it's almost like in terms of the Bolshevik 100-year revolution, it's like they had to kick something off. And that's basically picking up right where they left off, that after a couple generations of students have, been taught so wrongly as to, have a blind spot in history, even the understanding of what a republic is versus a democracy versus socialism. It's
right.
Like knowledge is totally wiped out, but systematically.
Right.
And when you have Bill Ayers, coming in the schools for that purpose, here's the results. It's like we're divide and conquer is really a strategy, a war strategy that, again, we understood history. We will understand history is truly repeating itself. And they didn't really change the playbook that much,
Yeah, not really. Well, thank you for the call. You got to call back sometime, but I got a lot of calls on the line. Now, do you have a channel? The chat is like, where's your channel? How can I get in contact?
Yes, I hope to be able to just sit with you as maybe a guest because it's deep. It's really deep. I want to write a book. But my website is kind of controversial. It's called WeTheNegro.com.
Okay, so hold on. That's WeTheNegro.com.
.com. It's controversial. Right. I know we're not supposed to say certain words, but
that's all
in the Bible, the passage called Revelations 3:9. That's real. We're not supposed to say it, but that's a key passage. So if people believe in the Bible, it's real, and it's prophecy in my opinion. So people don't want to touch that. The fact that some things pan out in the Bible that we were warned already. So we really don't have to repeat history. You know, ignorance is bliss, though. You know, and we see the Antifa manifest as useful idiots. So they are literally the proletariat out there doing what they're doing in relationship to the oligarchs who are coordinated. They own the media. You know, we can follow the money.
Right. I'm with you. I don't mean to cut you right here, but I got to get to some more.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your time. And again, you had the patience of the saint. And I hope you reach out to me and maybe we could talk some more.
Oh, definitely.
All right. Have a wonderful day, sir.
All
Thank
right,
you for what you're doing. Thanks for being on the front line.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Go Trump.
There it is.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
All right. So shout out to her. Yeah, great call. Hey, I'd like to have her on all night, but I got to be fair to my other callers. And her website is wethenegro.com. All right. And that link right there is in the description box. So go ahead and get to that website, and I'm going to have her on again. Absolutely. All right. So thank y'all for being here. Let's get to some more calls. Let's go ahead and get to 443. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Jack.
All right, Jack. What's happening?
Just calling from Baltimore. I know we've been getting a lot of bad press lately, but I wanted to chat with ABL about Epstein and whether or not a lot of this is really just a diversion from some of the other things that have been going on.
All right. Well, I'm right here, so we could talk about Epstein.
Oh, great. Well, you know, if I had to put it into a comparison, it would almost seem like there's a bonfire going on one side of the room, and this Epstein thing is like trying to draw everyone to look at a match on fire on the other side of the room. So where were we a month ago or 6 weeks ago? We were looking at a lot of things that were going on, the Mueller report, and you know, people misbehaving, and that seems to have gone, you know, into the back seat. And I was curious to know some of your thoughts about how you perceive all of the focus being pushed to Epstein.
Well, I mean, the Epstein case is pretty big because that had been going on for years and years and years. I mean, you're talking about people that are very high up in political power, the Clintons and Prince Andrew over there in UK. So a lot of people are very powerful that are involved. And like I said, it had been going on for years. He got locked up at first in 2008. And then you have people in the administration being involved because he was the guy that got the deal done in Florida. It's all kind of stuff that's happening. So a lot of attention is on that because, number one, he's locked up and he had been kind of evading justice for years. And then number two, he's dead. And everybody says, you know, it's fishy. Even his own lawyers say it's fishy. So it's a very hot button issue. Now, as far as anything else, unfortunately, the way the news media works is that when a very hot story comes along, some of the other things that may have been hot are kind of pushed to the wayside, generally. Not all the time, but generally. That's kind of what it is. So on one hand, it could be seen as distractionary or diversion, but at the same time, you can't not cover it with that kind of intensity.
Well, sure. I mean, you know, a high-profile person, and I guess no one's quite sure exactly how he expired. But, I mean, like so many other things, I can't help but wonder if people sometimes lose track of some of the more important things. I mean, I wonder, whoever gets this guy's computers, are we really going to learn everything that we would need to learn, and how long will that stretch out? And, you know, what sort of truth will we really know? So are we, you know, do the people end up chasing their tail a little bit, wondering how we're going to get this information?
Well, I mean, I'm not really sure. But I think more people are starting to go towards alternative media because they can get what they're actually looking for. And so they won't be directed by what's happening in the mainstream media, which a lot of times they're trying to push a certain narrative. And they won't give them the actual information that's happening that they actually need to figure out what's going on in the world.
Sure. Well, I live in Baltimore, so I want to give you a chance to, or anyone who's typing on the screen, to ask a question about Baltimore, and I'd give you my opinion.
Okay, so I mean, I guess the clear answer, the clear question would be: is Baltimore like what Trump described? In that particular area, West Baltimore, Elijah Cummings district, is it like that, or did he exaggerate?
In my opinion, if you think of Baltimore like a clock face, and West Baltimore being over at 9 o'clock, East Baltimore being over at 3 o'clock, both of those ends of Baltimore have a lot of troubles, a lot of boarded up places. I mean, I certainly wouldn't drive in some of those areas when the sun goes down. So I don't think that he said anything inaccurate. I think people just had some hurt feelings about it.
Right. Now, how about Elijah Cummings? Like, I mean, what is he at? Is he doing anything? Have you seen him try to, make some stuff happen, or is he just kind of like a figurehead in that particular area?
I've never seen him or heard about him being in the area until it's time to get reelected. And then you see the sign.
Right. That'll make sense. Just say, hey, come vote for me. But then when I get elected, you pretty much out of luck. So, yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I didn't want to take up too much time because I know you got a lot of callers, but I did want to thank you. I really enjoy your program and a number of the different things that you post. So thank you very much for all that.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Take care.
All right, now.
Bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. And the number to call is 434-658-1220. All righty. Let's go to 702. You on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, my name is Corey.
All righty. What's going on?
Hey, I just wanted to say, I heard a caller a little while ago, some lady traveling in her RV saying how wonderful the country is and there's no hate. I worked in the New York Police Department as a technician for years, and if you saw or heard what's really going on, especially things like the Epstein case, your optimism would fade quickly. For example, how can your callers believe that there's any optimism when there's dozens of child molesters walking around free right now in this country who also make your laws and collect your taxes? And yet, we don't seem to care. The Epstein story is fading. I've worked with people who had kidnapped children. And I'll tell you one thing. This is one big facade, what's going on. It's an illusion. There is no America as we believe it. And if you worked like I did, you'd see it. You'd see the suicide rate among police that are never even brought to the news cycle, ever. You would see the alcoholism and drug use just to keep people happy and watching football and basketball and baseball and wastefulness. And yet when you drive in an RV or when you're on vacation, you're getting somebody serving you, yeah, everything looks wonderful and great. But I'm here to tell you it's not. Don't believe it. If one person could sleep well tonight knowing that our lawmakers, politicians, ambassadors, leaders raped young girls and boys, and the story will go away and fade, then we've lost our soul. There is no Republican. There is no Democrat. There is no up and down anymore. And I'm here to tell you, and I hate to be a downer, because you are basically, I believe, a good person, and you try to help people by being optimistic. But rethink that a little bit. When people say there's no hate in this country, really? You ever been to Gary, Indiana? Chicago, Illinois? Have you ever been to Las Vegas, Nevada, away from the Strip? Have you been to the south side of Phoenix? No, that's not true. And I want to say I worked for 20 years, and I'm lucky I made it out. I took early retirement because I just couldn't take it anymore. And if anybody in this world believes that a man like Epstein or Maxwell or any of these people will come to justice, it's not going to happen. I'm sorry.
He just hung up. Wow. And you know what? You know what's happening there? Shout out to the caller. I don't mean to disrespect the caller, and my heart goes out to him. I understand what's happening. He's depressed. And he's just expressing his point of view from that particular state of mind. I've been there, so I recognize it. But at a certain point, you can't just let that view of the world, a negative view of the world, dominate you. If you do, you can look at things that happen, bad things happen to people, and let that dominate your every walking day. Like, if y'all would hear some of the things that I've seen in my life, oh my goodness, you'd be like, how can you just be here smiling and laughing? But look, you can't just be having that consuming. You can't ruminate on that. That'll kill you, 100%. That will kill you if you ruminate on negative things that happen. Generally, people are nice and people are kind. Most people aren't trying to really get into any kind of negativity or hatred or hurt you or do anything like that. Okay. Now, people own guns and they have it for home security. Having somebody beat your door down or something like that is not a common occurrence. Having somebody get shot and killed is not a common occurrence, like as far as one of your family members, unless you like live in the ghetto or something like that, but that's a different story. Most people can say, all right, I woke up today and I didn't have somebody just shoot me. You see what I'm saying? Like, there are a lot of things that happen, but they're not necessarily common. It's not like all the time. There's bad areas, of course. But this overall sense of I hate you, like we don't live in the world of Mad Max or Zombieland. It ain't there yet. There's some bad things that happen, sure, but you can't just let it dominate your thoughts, because you'll be like that. You'll think that everything like is hopeless, But I'll leave that right there. Shout out to my man for the call, and let's go to unknown caller. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, boss. Let me mute this real quick. Sorry. Okay. I just wanted to comment to that last call, because that was, oh boy, I wanted to donate some money, but unfortunately I just recently had my some of my bank info stolen, so this is the only way I can call in. I want to say to everybody, and I know everybody already knows this, but I know everybody, I know you know this, nobody here is ignorant. Everybody here knows there's bad stuff going on. Everybody can see it. Nobody's blind to it. But I would recommend to everybody and that caller, you need to keep your eyes on the positive. There is a lot of good stuff going on here. From a fairly young age, when I used to sit and think, man, everything is so bad. Everything is so terrible. Everything is just, why be here and all this stuff. I used to say two things every day to all my friends who were talking about how bad everything is. I said, look, you're alive and you live in the United States of America. And I'm not trying to, be overly patriotic, but I mean it. Like, think of all the countries out there where you got kids growing up in trash heaps, you got kids with parasites, you got people starving. That guy or person, whatever they were, needs to just watch something a little lighter. He needs to tune out maybe some of the news. I'll let the crowd know. I watch something like 4 or 5 hours a day, and it does drain me. I watch 4 or 5 hours of news every day.
Yeah,
it's draining. There are places, there are sites you can go where, I have a channel called Hooplaha, not me myself, that I watch. That's only positive news. I would recommend everybody subscribe, because if you are literally just tuning into the mainstream news every night, yeah, you're going to feel drained. You're going to feel hopeless. Go watch some good news. Go out and help somebody. Go out, make things better. I'm not trying to preach to people, but seriously, like, you want the world to improve, do it yourself. Like, you're the only one you have any control over. Go out and help people. Go out and, find a kid or whatever. Go find someone who maybe needs some clothes, needs something to eat, needs a blanket. Go do anything you can. It doesn't take much to help people out. And you know what? The guy who calls and whatnot, I guarantee you, if he goes out and helps some people, and it will not only take his mind off all the bad things he does see and all the things we see, but you and the person you help will feel better. So that's two people who will feel better. There you go. End of my rant. I did have one thing I wanted to ask you on that note, but because again, I can't send super chats, unfortunately. And you might have already talked about this. What did you think of what did you think of that weird painting in Epstein's house?
Oh yeah. I saw that. Now what happened with that was a girl had painted that for her college class. It might have been some kind of final exam type situation, and there was some kind of auction that was held, and her painting got sold, but she never knew where it went. So she was kind of surprised to see that it landed in Epstein's house. Now, I don't know why he had that, but a guy like Epstein, when you're dealing with that kind of money and these weirdos, messing with kids and stuff, I mean, one can only imagine. I'm pretty sure there's other things in the house that kind of make you be like, okay, what's going on with that? Like, what's really happening? So yeah, I'm not surprised that he had that, but it wasn't a thing that was custom for him. It was something that he found. Now, I don't know how he found that or how somebody that he may know found that. I really don't know. But it's not surprising when you understand the kind of person that Epstein was. A monster will have something like that in their house.
It's very weird. I'm just going to reply to one comment in the chat real quick. Some individual, it already went by, told me, don't judge him and whatnot. Okay, I can understand that. But the person making the comment, let me say this. I have family who are police. I have family who have served in the military. I have people who have seen terrible things. I actually, it's been a long time since I've called in, but I myself was at one of these school shootings. So yes, we've all seen bad things. And, the guy who called in was talking about the suicide rate. Well, yes, you see terrible things. And you know what? I think maybe if my family members and the people that I love had decided to just focus on all the evil things they saw and the things that made them jaded and the things that made them sick to their stomach, maybe they would have checked out. But you know what they did? They buried themselves in service. They looked for people to help. They did everything they could to get away from that. And so to Poodle or whoever it was, I'm not saying the guy hasn't seen some bad things. I'm not saying I'm not trying to judge him. I'm just saying there are things you can do. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. And I have no doubt, Abel, you've seen things that you wish you could forget, and yet here you are. You're helping almost 1,000 people right now, distracting us from all the other stuff in the world. So that's 1,000 people helped by one man. So just think about that, chat. And shout out to the chat, because I know 99.99999% are good people. So that's it. Ran over. Keep on, Abel, and see you in the next video.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, later.
All right, shout out to the caller. Now somebody asked me, I got a super chat right here. Thank you to Darnell McGavick Sr., who says, "What about Tlaib marry her brother's relative?" I've not heard that. Now I heard about Ilhan Omar allegedly marrying her brother for immigration purposes, but I've not heard about Rashida Tlaib marrying her mother's relative. I don't know anything about that, but I'm gonna look into it to see what's going on. Thank you for the donation, though. Definitely appreciate you. All right, exactly, Hallie. The eccentric millionaire. That's the kind of vibe I get from Epstein. Aside from the obvious crimes he committed, that's the eccentricities of what happens when you get that kind of money. But let me see. Did I get everybody? Oh, thank you to Stami, who says, ABL, you need to get this caller on your channel more. It's talking about the lady that called earlier with the fantastic call, who had the website called WeTheNegro.com. Go to her website right now. But let me get to the next call here. All right, let's go to 416 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
It's a Cigar Box.
Cigar Box, what's happening?
Hi, man. Crazy times. I thought that was rather funny that Tlaib would put up that letter that she sent begging to see her grandmother, right? She was assuming they were just going to tell her no, obviously. And then she was going to scream and yell, "You see how horrible they are? They won't even let me see my 90-year-old dying grandmother."
Mm-hmm.
And it blows up in her face.
That's right.
What a bloody embarrassment. I mean, and then to say, no, I'm not going to go see her? Yeah, you want to see her that bad.
Right.
I thought it was supposed to be compassionate. I don't know about anybody else, but I looked at that Philly shooting, and it says that guy who shot the 6 cops is a Muslim.
Oh yeah, probably because with Philly, that's kind of like part of the culture there. Like, and it's not the same thing as what you would think about, like these mass shooters that we're talking about. A lot of what it ain't like that. It's like put it to you like this: Farrakhan at one point, or Malcolm X had a temple in Philadelphia. So what you have is like the black Muslims. They kind of like had a foothold in that area. And a lot of people that live there, they got the big beards and they talk. It's like it's just part of the culture. It's not. It ain't the same thing as like Middle Eastern. It ain't that at all. It's like Nation of Islam, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But they're not going to talk about it because it involves the word Islam.
Oh, nah, they won't bring it up at all. No.
That's pretty bizarre. It's funny. Like, there's been a lot of talk about racism lately, and so it got me thinking, because I was in a argument kind of about climate change, and I got called a racist when they ran out of talking points.
Hey, that's so, pretty much the if you're done with talking points, if you can't win the argument, racist.
Yeah, and so I sat back and I thought, okay, just bear with me here. But how bad is it to be a racist? Seriously, when you think about everything, like if the person is a racist, right? Let's say I don't like you because you're black, you hate me because I'm white. As long as we don't act on it, who gives a crap?
Yeah.
Like,
right.
Like, what's you see what I mean? Like, I mean, like, you have murderers they could worry about. They got people who are constantly stealing and robbing people, beating people up, and all kinds of gang activity. And the big thing to worry about is racism. Like, in all seriousness, as long as nobody does anything to cause any problems about it, I really don't see it as the issue that they're making it out to be. I had a boss one time, and he definitely was. He was like a bigot, like you wouldn't believe. And he hired 2 brown guys, and we were kind of shocked because we knew he was a bigot. And so we were sitting around at lunchtime at a picnic table, and one of the guys said, "Watch this, I'm going to wind up the boss." He said, "What are you doing hiring those guys?" And he goes, "What do you mean?" He goes, I didn't think you'd hire guys like him." And so he stopped and looked at us and said, "Okay, put your hand up in the air. How many of you guys have been to my house for dinner?" And none of us did. And he goes, "How many of you been over, watched the game, have a couple of beers?" "Oh, none of you have." "Exactly." He goes, "I don't give a crap as long as they do their work."
That's right. That's all that really matters.
So I don't know. It might be just a weird way of looking at it, but I think they're trying to blow something out of proportion and make the population hate each other more than what they should, and possibly even cause people to be racist.
You're right. You're right about that. They're trying to make this whole thing about racism be a big issue so they can talk about it, so they can always attack people with it. And what the end result is going to be, maybe more people that actually are racist, because they keep getting tired. They're being tired of being labeled as racist by certain groups of people. So it'll have a negative effect on people that normally wouldn't be one way. So yeah, I can kind of see that.
Yeah, and the other thing is, like, with things with your channel and other conservatives, and you're getting like views diminished and all kinds of stuff like that, right? Like, they're attacking the conservatives, and they're all saying, "Who gives a crap? It's a private business. They should be able to do anything they want," right? But then they turn around and scream and yell. The same people turn around and they get their back up because some guy won't bake a cake for gay people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, isn't that his business? And can't he dictate what the rules are?
That's right.
Yeah. You know, like when are they going to do their thing or get off the pot? or is they just going to keep talking in circles and drive everybody nuts? Because I look at, we've got an idiot up here running for prime minister again. He's already broken the law. He's done something that no prime minister's ever done, and yet he's still running. And but then I look at the Democratic Party. You got, and I mean, I can't believe all these retards that are running, and I mean retards. But anyway, I've been on too long. Thanks a lot for taking my call. I'll talk to you later. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Thank you for the call. All right, now. All right, thank you to Cigar Box for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. All right, let me get to my next call. The number to call is 434-658-1220. 520, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. This is C-Dog.
All righty, what's going on?
Hey, I just wanted to tell you, you know that black guy you showed earlier?
Are you talking about the Antifa dude?
Yeah, he got arrested at the beginning of the protest.
Yeah, I heard he got arrested.
Yeah, then about 3 hours later, they let him out, and he was protesting again.
So it's like, why even arrest him? I mean, it's like literally a revolving door. It wasn't even no point in doing that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, why arrest him and let him back on the street to have more hassle?
Yeah, at least hold him for a day or something. I mean, that was crazy.
Yeah, and then they said that NBC was showing where the Patriots were to tell the Antifa, so NBC and Antifa were working together.
Well, yeah, that's what it seems like. They're like identifying and say, okay, go over there. That's where they are, and then they show up. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, because the thing about it is, the left, Antifa, the media, and the mayor, they pretty much all one and the same, just different. Antifa is the enforcement arm, the media, they're the information arm, and then the government, they have laws on their books, or they choose not to enforce laws. It's all kind of like one thing.
Yeah. Oh, no. So I just wanted to give you the update on that black guy.
All righty. Well, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Yeah, that's crazy. Now, like somebody said earlier that he got arrested, but then he got right back out on the street. That's wild, but not surprised at all. Not in the least bit. All right. Let me get to my next call. 323, you on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL was good. Snap Turtle.
Snap Turtle, what's happening?
Yeah. Oh man, it's so hard to get a hold of you now, man. You hot as fish grease, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but I wanted to talk about that guy, that technician from New York that called in, sounded kind of down. Despite the fact that he does seem to be depressed and all that, that doesn't mean he's not on point about a lot of stuff he was saying. Now, in his field of work, right, he will see things that a lot of people won't see that might give him that state of mind. And he's from New York, too. So, you got to remember that people from New York, you know what I'm saying, they call it like they see it, you know what I'm saying, they're jaded. Unlike people in California who might have the same type of job and they ain't tripping. They go to the beach and smoke some weed and all that. But putting all that aside, what he's talking about with these pedophiles, man, the level that it reaches, like they're everywhere. Like if you look on Megan's Law, right, the Megan's Law website, you can't even walk a block without knowing that there's a freaking pedophile on that block. Like they're on every block. There are thousands of them within a square mile. It's crazy. So with that knowledge, you have to know that it don't stop. You know what I'm saying? In the Congress and in the Senate and wherever else that they dwell. And the reason that you see these people on the streets living in your neighborhood is because of people like Kinsey. I know you know Alfred Kinsey is, right?
No.
The guy that, okay, so you got to look him up. He has a whole philosophy. He has a Keynesian philosophy where he doesn't feel like messing with little kids. He feels like there's nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, he thinks little kids, like 2 or 3 years old, can, have those sensations, that grown folks have. I'm not even going to say it.
Right.
But the point is, when they were trying to lock people up for a long time for this type of stuff, he intervened because he was a doctor, right? He was a doctor that said, "Oh no, I know all about this. This is not really that bad of an offense." So this is why you see offenders get 2 or 3 years. They get 6 months probation, things like that. That's why these people get out, because of people like him and all the people that he knew that were in the upper echelon. So it is kind of depressing, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just how people deal with stuff. So, I'm not going to knock them. You know what I'm saying? And as far as the left-right paradigm, y'all, you know how I feel about that. I feel like it's just a dog and pony show. You know what I'm saying? Although I know there are good people like you and others that are sincere in what they feel and what they believe. But the biggest problem is, while all these things are going on that we're talking about, the Epstein case, Philly, all this other stuff, you have people in Congress trying to pass legislation on both sides that will strip our rights away. I'm talking about the TAPS Act. It's split down the middle. It's a bipartisan bill that is equally loved by Democrats and Republicans, okay? And the TAPS Act is the worst piece of legislation that could ever get passed. And I'm telling you, if it passes, you can kiss all the Bill of Rights goodbye. It'll go away. It'll go bye-bye, okay? That's like the false flag law on steroids. You're talking about, you don't even have to have anybody report you if the TAPS Act comes into play, okay? So if you say something wacky on Facebook, or you say something wacky on YouTube that they don't like, oh, we got to go to his house. We got to put him through a psychological evaluation. We have to take his weapons away because he said some things that we consider to be dangerous. It's so subjective, it's ridiculous. So, and this is something that's equal on both sides of the aisle. So people like you who are sincere in what they believe need to start knocking on their heads like, look, man, we're your base, and you have to support what we believe because you call yourself being conservative, you call yourself being Republican. Well, you need to start behaving in that manner when they start trying to pass this type of legislation, because it's very dangerous. You know what I'm saying? I know I said a mouthful right there, but, man, it's crazy.
No doubt.
But, yeah, I'm going to let you get back to it, man. I'm just, and one more thing, these red flag laws, man, you got Trump talking about them. He's trying to roll harder background checks into the immigration bill that he's trying to get passed. It's getting crazy. And we need to remind our leaders, our so-called leaders, who they work for. So that's all I got to say, man. Get back to it, man. You're doing a great job. Hot as fish grease, man. Can't even get you on the phone, man. All right.
Thank you for the call,
all
man.
Right, bye, man. Yeah, no problem.
All right, thank you to my man Snap Turtle for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Time is flying. It's almost 10 o'clock on the East Coast. Well, I'm not on the coast, but I'm on the Eastern time zone. Time is flying. All right, let me get to my next call here. Let's go to 609. You on the line? Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Black T. How you doing?
Everything's good, man. How about yourself?
Yeah, I just wanted to have a little correction. I mean, you said that about the Muslim guy was Nation of Islam. I don't think that's correct. Philly is predominantly Orthodox. I mean, and Elijah Muhammad was the leader of Nation of Islam, not Malcolm X. And Farrakhan, he doesn't wear the beard, and that's about it.
Okay, well, I mean, what I was saying is that it's not like the Muslim.
They're not Arab. They're probably Black American.
Yeah, like it's closer.
Orthodox Islam.
The ideology, in my opinion, is closer to like Nation of Islam. Like I know guys in the nation.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
You don't think so?
No, they're predominantly Orthodox Islam. They separated from the Nation of Islam, and Farrakhan started a new Nation of Islam.
Okay.
I just think you should be accurate when you do things like that.
Well, I didn't say it was, sir. Hold on, sir. I got to defend myself now. I didn't say that it was a nation of Islam. I just said that it's not like the Middle East. I mean, you would agree with that, right?
Actually, it is because they pretty much adopted the culture of the Middle East.
Are you sure about that? I don't know if that's right.
Islam, yes. I mean, I'm up here. I'm in Jersey, on the side of Jersey, but I'm right next to Philly. So, yeah. And my parents was in a nation of Islam, so I'm pretty much sure about that and know the history.
Okay.
And you should probably be more accurate.
All right. I think I was right, but thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
No problem.
I'm right. I mean, I understand what he's saying. It's not like it ain't the same thing as Nation of Islam. Because Nation of Islam, they're not wearing the big beards. They're not wearing the white. Like in Philly, they be wearing the white. They don't do like the Saudis with the little head thing. I don't really see that too much. But they had the big beards and the white. But the culture is not like Saudi Arabia. It ain't like that. I know guys in the nation in No Farrakhan, and I know guys in Philly. I've been to Philly. It ain't like Saudi Arabia. He's up there. I understand that, but what he was saying is correct. It's not like Chicago Nation of Islam, totally different. But it ain't like Muslims in that part in Africa. No, it ain't that. Okay. But hey, that was a good call. Thank you for the call. Let me get to the next call here. All right, 304, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
My name's John Triplett.
All righty, what's going on?
What I don't understand about this is I'm kind of new to the whole Proud Boys thing, and they're waving the American flag, they're saying a Christian prayer, and people are calling them Nazis. I don't understand when American flags and Christianity became associated with being a Nazi. Am I missing something here?
Well, I'm not sure when that happened. I think that the people, the crazy far leftists, they have started to do that. They've adopted that, and it pretty much stuck on their side of the aisle. And then some of the leftist media, they kind of buy into it. If they don't expressly say it, they kind of just let it rock. They let it ride.
Yeah, that's really upsetting to some people. I'm a rural guy in West Virginia, but my family were Rosicrucians, Romanachal, Gypsies. Both my parents fought in World War II. My mother was even a drill instructor on the Brooklyn training ground during World War II. So, I don't think these people understand that if you forget what a Nazi really is, that's pretty insulting to a lot of people on this planet that fought the Nazis. People died fighting the Nazis, Jewish people. That's just the most insulting thing I ever saw. I appreciate it, man. I just wanted to get that straight. I thought I was totally missing something, but I guess it's just gone that way. I appreciate it, buddy.
All right. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
All right. West Virginia in the house. Shout out to the caller. I most certainly appreciate him. Yeah. I'm not really sure when that whole thing happened, if you just patriotic, you're considered a Nazi. And we just say words don't mean anything anymore. It's pretty crazy. All right, let me get to the next call. Nico, what's happening?
Hold on. Sorry, Anthony. I was actually just playing my Switch here until you pick up. What's up, man?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
Bloodstained. It's basically Castlevania without the name.
Yeah, I heard about Bloodstained. I've not played that, but I heard about that.
All right. So let's go on right now. So first off, I just want to say this about what's going on with the NFL right here. I gotta say this is that I think that Colin Kaepernick basically killed off the NFL. And what's really the sad part is that my family are actually hardcore 49er fans.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. You got Colin Kaepernick basically killing off the NFL, and he was on the 49ers, and he did it from there.
No, and you know what? Remember the times, my dad, there was like all these Jerry Rice posters, because in the 80s, from what I heard, in the 80s and 90s, the 49ers are basically what the 49ers back then are basically what the New England Patriots are this day. I mean, you know those names, Jerry Rice, Roger Craig. Are you familiar with those names?
Oh yeah, of course. Jerry Rice is the second best receiver of all time.
That to Colin Kaepernick, and that was even the sad part because even in middle school, those Jerry Rice and Roger Craig actually came to my middle school one time, and I actually got to meet them up close and personal.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and that's
big.
Huh?
So that's big.
I know. And yeah, that's kind of the reason why I'm actually a Raiders fan. I love the Raiders more than the 49ers because the 49ers are the worst team ever. Yeah, but yeah, moving on right there. Have you actually heard of this about what's going on with Katy Perry right now? That she's actually being accused of sexual assault.
Yeah, by women, right?
No. By a male model, basically, where they said that she actually stripped him. She actually pulled his pants down in front of a party that was almost all women.
Wow. Nah, I didn't hear about that one. I heard about a woman when she was in the country, Georgia. She was doing some kind of interview or something, and then she was drunk and was fondling this woman. But I've not heard about the male.
Oh yeah, and there was even that one time. I think she was on American Idol. I think, who knows? But there was also one where she actually kisses a 19-year-old contestant.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think that was like 2 years ago.
I remember that.
Have you heard about that?
Yeah, I did hear about that one. I saw that one when it happened.
Yeah, and it's kind of. And I also want to say this. I mean, it was like they always consider themselves the moral messiah. Yeah, it's complete irony when you look at them. Consider them the moralistic messiahs of our society. But based on my experience, I think they're not only trying so desperate to stay relevant, but if you look at their histories of their personal life, you see what they go through, like 5 divorces, drug abuse, and other forms of being in trouble with the law. And yet I think that's probably what's the insidious part, is that it kind of creeps into their public life and their public image.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You kind of that's something I really noticed today.
Well, it makes sense.
That their insidious lives is that. I mean, the reason why they're trying to spew this left-wing rhetoric on how out-of-touch they are is that it's because it has to do with their personal lives. Do you think so?
I didn't quite hear that. What you say?
Oh, is that how their personal lives and what they go through, all this quote-unquote celebrity gossip, is that it's how it creeps into how it affects their own public image. And it's just how they talk and just how they basically talk down on the working-class peons.
Oh yeah, they do that a lot.
All right, but I know I'm just gonna cut it short right here. But I just want to give my 2 cents of my experience. But I'm just gonna drop it right here. See you later, Anthony.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right.
All right, thank you to my man Nico for the call. I most certainly appreciate him. And you guys know the number. The number to call is 434-658-1220. We're at the 10 p.m. mark. We got about an hour left on the Eastern time zone in the USA. Thank you to everybody that's joining. If you just not came in or you came in recently, please give me a thumbs up on the video. I'd appreciate that. All right. Shout out to my man Snap Turtle, who says, would you say Dan Crenshaw is a traitor for pushing the TAPS Act and red flag laws? He called his base emotional and triggered for not accepting his rights, violating machinations. Now, I heard about Dan Crenshaw saying something, but I didn't see exactly what he said. I don't know about calling him a traitor. I would just say I disagree with him on this particular policy there. And if I could vote for him, I would not vote for him because I disagree with what he says. Hopefully, we don't get that thing passed. If Trump is trying to package that with immigration, it's not going to pass, in my humble opinion, because although the Democrats may screech about gun control, they truly don't care about gun control, because if they did, they would screech about all the events that happen all the time. In Philly, you had 2 mass shootings back to back. One was where the officers got shot, but the very next day there was a mass shooting in Philadelphia where 5 people got shot. I don't think anybody died in the second shooting, but it's still a mass shooting according to what the media says. The media says if 4 or more people get shot in one incident, that's a mass shooting. So you had 2 of them in Philly back to back. There was no talk about gun control. There was no talk about gun confiscation or red flag laws or anything like that. Okay, so they don't really care about guns in reality. they only use a incident where it's a white man to blame to push the whole white nationalism thing to try to kill two birds with one stone, no pun intended. They want to talk about Trump being a white nationalist or racist and a white supremacist to try to get him out of office through impeachment, but also to try and enact gun control or to threaten us with gun control. But thank you for the donation, man. Definitely appreciate you. Oh, sorry about that. Shout out to Blonde Brainstorm 93 who says, I read that Tlaib received harsh criticism from Palestinians and BDS for negotiating terms for a visit. The venomous reaction is why she reversed course. Even she does not want to anger them. Yeah, exactly. Right. So, yeah, I think you're correct about that. And thank you for the donation. And she has said, I think, during her campaign that she would be pushing for BDS and that kind of thing. So she can't go back on that now. She may have just realized that, or maybe her plan, which was to try and have them say no and then post a rejection letter, that failed. So now she got to do all kind of backpedaling and try to save face. But thank you for the donation. Most certainly appreciate you. But let me get back to the calls. And the number to call is 434-658-1220. I had somebody right there, but I was a little too slow to the trigger. All righty. Let me see. Adam Levine. Hold on. Let me get to the next call. 669, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yo, AB.
What's going on?
Oh, man, I couldn't believe I got on your show, so thank you, man. I just want to, before I talk, I just want to thank you for what you're doing on your side to bringing out all this information out to a lot of people. So I just wanted to say that, and I've been following you for a long time, so I can't believe that I'm on the show. Anyhow, I wanted to bring something to everybody's attention if it's possible. Back in 2014, I personally did some work. I'm not going to say my name, but I personally did some work, very sensitive work, and I was able to see some things that were pretty, like, I just couldn't believe. And then that was when Barack Obama, I think he had like one more year left in office. And then what happened was that as, you know, Trump decided to run for office, what happened was that I was privy to some information, and it seemed like there was like an internal fight going on between the FBI agents, and it was kind of crazy because as Trump decided to run, I don't think they took him seriously, but Trump being one of the higher up people in the society, a lot of those people were probably not taking him seriously, but others were, you know, kind of like scared, you know, if he would win. And I think that the worst for these people happened, which is that we elected him, right? And he won. So when he won, this whole thing about Russia and all this things, whole made up thing, there was no buts. Everybody knows that. There's just a lot of people that were not, probably, we were either Democrats or whatever, that were not willing to say that they were going to vote for Trump. And they just basically came out and started to support him on Twitter, not really saying their names or anything like that. And, but going back to what I was saying, again, there was like an internal tug of war going on from, you know, people that were on one side and the other ones. And then when this happened, that's when this people that were on the other side turned up this thing about Russia with the internal people to try to like move the direction of, you know, people to start thinking about, you know, invalidate the election type thing. Hopefully I'm not putting people to bed here, but what I wanted really to say was that at the end of the day, this is going to be a long run for all of us. You know, we got to support our president. A lot of people are scared, you know, because we are now waking up to a lot of things that have been happening in this country that are just wrong. And a lot of this mass shootings, if we could see, we got our people at the top, you know, they're dropping the ball. They really know that these kids are mentally ill or they're doing something or they've been already, you know, knock at their doors. But if we really start looking at it, once that mass shooting happens, CNN is there, and then they start covering it, and it's kind of like they turn the whole thing into like gun grabbing and all of that, and then they put the pressure on Trump, you know, to do something about it. And they know that if they put enough pressure on Trump and he does something, that we might not vote for him. So at the end of the day, we got to stay strong and continue to support our president, because this is all we got right now, and try to reelect him and put a lot of pressure on the other side of the people that are there, deep state, or if you want to call them that way, we got to continue to vote that way. We're continue talking about our freedoms and the important things that are happening in this country, because there's other people that are on the other side. These people just obviously want to turn into maybe socialism to grab power, and we just got to continue on doing what we're doing to make sure that we keep our country free. So I just wanted to say that.
Well, hey, it's a very good call, man. A lot of good points that were made. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem, AB. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for the time. Appreciate
thank you.
it.
All right, shout out to the call. I most certainly appreciate him. All righty. Shout out to my man Snap Turtle, who says, facts, ABL, the left doesn't care about lives. Otherwise, they ban cigarettes, the leading cause of death. Gun control is about people control. 100%. Absolutely. It's a political tool that's being used. That's all that it is. So thank you for your donation, man. Definitely appreciate you. And thank you to Nico, who says, I forgot to say this, Anthony, but are you going to buy a Fredo Unleashed shirt? Hey, I have a Fredo shirt. Shout out to one of you guys, one of my subscribers has sent me a Fredo design. I got to put it on the store. I got to get a little bit of time, but I'm going to put it on the store. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull it up right quick so I can show you guys. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up. Give me 1 second here. All right, let's go ahead and can I get to it? Will my mail let me? All right, in the worst possible time, wants to just be slow as possible, as slow as molasses. Okay, let's try to reload right quick, and let me go ahead and get her done. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Boom. Let's load it up. Okay, I don't want to do what I wanted to do. I hate Google. It's love and hate with them. Oh, because I can't even really show it right now. Hold on, let me see if I can show it. I should be able to. Maybe not. All right, I can't show it right now, but it's a good shirt. I'm gonna put it on my store soon. If I can figure out a way to show it. Matter of fact, hold on. Nah, I can't. I ain't got no time to be doing that. But thank y'all for being here. Definitely appreciate you. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Ah, there we go. Got it. All right. I was like trying to open it in the browser. It wouldn't let me do it. Okay. So here's the design that I will be using. So that will be going on the shirt. And if you can't read what it says, I'm smart. Not like everyone says. I'm not dumb. I'm smart. And I want respect. And a little subhead, his name says Fredo Cuomo, and then CNN up under that. And then of course you got Cuomo right there with the little suit and the flower, all that kind of good stuff. So there you have it. Fredo Cuomo in the building. All right. Let me get to the next call here. 718, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Eddie in New York. What's going on, man?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
Hey, man, I'm looking at this shirt right now. This looks ridiculous. I love it. I got to get me one of those. So I have to tell you, man, I grew up in New York City during the 90s, and you can just imagine the kind of stuff I was surrounded by. So a guy like me wasn't supposed to end up, being conservative. And one of the main missions for me is making sure that I put the right stuff in my son's head, because I know that he was going to be indoctrinated within the public school system in New York. And he's one of the many people in my life that tell me, man, if it weren't for you, I would think like everybody else, and it's crazy to hear that. But, it's a reality, so that's why it's great to see people like you, and Brandon Tatum and many others, Candace, push the black and Latino, conservative movement, man, because we need it. We need it badly, So I just wanted to acknowledge you, man, and keep up the good work, man.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Take care, all right?
All right, same to you now.
Peace.
All right. Shout out to my man for the call. Most certainly appreciate him coming from New York. Shout out to all the New Yorkers. I'm more of a mid-city level guy. I'm coming from Virginia, then West Virginia. I'm out here in Tennessee now, so I'm like a smaller city guy. I like to go visit the bigger cities, but I like to stay in the smaller spots. But shout out to my man for calling. Most certainly appreciate him. And let's go to the next call. 706, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Anthony.
Yes, it is. Who am I speaking to?
This is Anthony. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. You're Anthony too. Okay. What's going on?
Not much, man. Shit. I seen you. I think I'm late in the live stream, but I just seen the picture of the shirt you had, and I thought that was pretty fire with the Andrew Puma. I seen that the other day, and I thought that was pretty fire when you posted it.
Oh, no doubt.
Heck yeah, man. Well, I want to ask you a question, though, man.
All right.
What do you think about? Because I'm like biracial, and I see a lot more black conservatives moving towards Trump. I mean, do you think that more and more black people will be able to convert to Trump? I mean, is that something that you see likely, or do you think a Democratic candidate who is black, like Kamala Harris, would steal that vote?
Well, I mean, I think that you're gonna have mostly Democrats get the black vote, unfortunately. But the issue that we're dealing with now is, okay, how much of the black vote will Democrats get? It's usually above 90%. I think with Hillary, it was right around 89 or 88, something like that. So it dipped below 90%. It was much lower than President Obama, of course. So if we can get that lower to like 80%, which is still high, but lower than it was, I mean, that's a big drop. If we can get it to 80%, 75%, that'd be huge. That'll just turn the entire election on its head. That right there, to go from 88 to 78 might be enough to change the whole election. If it was close, that could be the margin of victory right there. So I don't think that you're going to have majority black votes go towards any Republican anytime soon, but I think there'll be much less of the black vote going towards Democrats.
Okay. Man, well, I appreciate everything you do, man. I love your show, man. From one Anthony to another Anthony, keep it up, dude.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
No problem, dude.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Yeah, Kamala Harris is, I've been hearing bad things about Kamala Harris since like the beginning of the campaign. People don't really like her too much over in the black community. They're not really a fan. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, it might not work out well for her. So I think that she won't get as much as the black vote as many other black politicians have in local elections, and it won't be as much as Barack Obama, of course, or Hillary Clinton, in my humble opinion. But let me get to my next call. 704, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Anthony. Is this Anthony?
Yes, it is.
Hey, this is Ron. I'm from North Carolina. I sent you some information on that Contact Anthony line, and I wondered if you got it. It was about something called a red pill movement. Did you happen to get the information and get a look at it?
I'm not sure. I have to go check. So you said it was the red pill movement?
The red pill movement, and it's about financing the alternative media. And I've been working on this for a long time, and quite frankly, it couldn't happen unless somebody in the media gets involved in it. You've got to get, media to make this thing happen. If you didn't get it, what I'd like to do, I'd like to talk to you offline about it, quite frankly, because I think it's got the possibility to really change things. I think what it can do, it can finance the alternative media. It can put the Trump people together. And the most interesting thing about this red pill movement, basically, it's a combination, if you will, of the Tea Party and the Yellow Vest movement in France. I was involved with the Tea Party movement when it first started. I was one of the first people involved in it. And long story short, we ended up going down to D.C. And we met with Bonner, and I told these guys, I said, "You've been sold out. I mean, these people, they took over the populist movement. The politicians took it over, and I walked away from it. It just wasn't going to work, and I saw that. But I've been working for a lot of years trying to put something together that I felt would work and would be able to tie the people and the alternative media together. And the difference in this organization is that we are actually going to pay the members of the organization to get out there and promote the freedom movement, to talk to their best friends, because that's the way things happen. You've got to go back. Right now we're being driven off the internet. We're being driven off of everything, and we've got to go back to person, and that's basically what this is about. What I'd like to do, I'll go ahead and forward this. I'll get off the line here, and you take a look again. I sent you that contact at Anthony. That's the right place to go.
Yeah, AnthonyBlogan.com.
Yeah, okay. I did do that, but I'm going to send it to you. I'll flip it out to you again right now, and maybe you read it, take a look at it, and then call me personally. If you get off the air, you want to give me a buzz back, I'd love to sit down and talk to you about it, because I think it's going to be the most fantastic opportunity for the first guy. I tried to get a hold of Alex Jones. I did get. If you're familiar, are you familiar with Susan from All News Pipeline by any chance?
No, I'm not.
You never heard of All News Pipeline, right?
No, I haven't.
You know what, man? That's the problem with this whole thing. Everybody is competing with one another, and they're competing with the lying mainstream media at the same time. There's no organization. There's nothing to pull it all together. That's what's wrong. I've been doing this for years, man. I tried to put this together, I don't know, like through country clubs and stuff. I mean, we have to talk offline. But you take a look. I'm going to jump off. I'm going to flip this right back to you, and you read it later. And if this makes any sense at all, Anthony, call me, sit down and talk, because I've been trying to make this happen, and you're the first living human being in the media that I've actually been able to talk to. I've had some conversations, over the internet, a few sentences here and there, but it's the first time I've really tried to lay this out to somebody. But I have it on paper. You take a look at it, and like I said, if it makes sense, buzz me after the show. I'm up. I'm here.
All righty. Well, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you, bro.
All righty. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. All righty. Let's get to my next call here. 469, you on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Jesse.
All righty. What's going on?
Yeah, I want to just ask what your thoughts are on the law enforcement keeping the two groups apart in Portland. Do you think that's the best solution? If I'm an American, shouldn't I be able to walk around on the street and interact with the other people?
Well, I mean, I understand that point of view, but I think they're just trying to minimize some of the actual the injuries, and they don't want to be held liable for anybody getting hurt. It just trying to, and then they've been criticized as well because they're not doing things. People are getting beat up, so that's probably their best way to go about it, I suppose. But beyond that, they also need to, identify who are the real issue, and the real issue would be the Antifa. So keep them under control. I'm not really sure how you would do that without separating people.
Okay, I got you. I just want to get your view on that. I wasn't sure. I thought you had some astute comments on the, with all the trash left behind, the waste and all that.
No, I didn't even see all that. No, I'm on the show right now, so I've not seen them disperse. Are they still out there in Portland,
Oh no,
or is it over?
you know who I was watching? Is there's some guy put Portland Andy. I thought it was Andy, the NGO guy, but it's just some guy that he's just streaming live. He's got like 5,000 people. He's walking around with a live camera.
Okay, yeah, I've not seen any of that, so I don't know what's going on right now.
It looks pretty tame, like like everybody like the other people showed up with the baseball hat on, so they're ready for it.
Oh yeah, of course.
But hey, I appreciate your show, man. I like watching it. It's interesting.
Oh, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, you have a good one, man.
Same to you. All right, shout out to the caller, and let me get to my next call here. 214, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's going on, ABL? This is Tariq, man.
All right, Tariq, what's happening?
Not much, man. I just want to talk about that NFL deal, man, with Jay-Z.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just focused on the response, bro. Really, that's what I'm saying. Like, you got these black liberals they're just upset talking about how can Jay-Z betray Cap, and I'm like, how is he betraying Cap? You know what I'm saying? Like, my thing is, like, black people are looking for the NFL. It is hilarious. They're looking for the NFL to change the conditions on how they're treated by the police. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's not going to even happen. And the funny thing about it is that the NFL has nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what can they do? Like, even with Jay-Z partnering with the NFL, I'm like, what can they do? They're entertainment league. You know what I'm saying? So I just think the conversation is misplaced, and I don't like how they act like Jay-Z has to check in with Colin Kaepernick. Well, who the hell is Colin Kaepernick?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, did you watch that TMZ thing where Charlamagne was like, I guess, the problem everyone has is that, you sat there and you made this deal with the NFL and you didn't even bring Cap in. Why does Jay-Z have to bring Colin Kaepernick in? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's a grown man. If Cap want to join in, you join in. But the thing is, it's like they want to stay stuck at the protest. They just want to kneel forever. You know what I'm saying? That's it. No follow-up, no nothing, just kneel forever. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't think Jay-Z's going to do much, but I just don't like this whole Jay-Z has betrayed Colin Kaepernick crap, because I don't think Jay-Z has to say anything to Colin Kaepernick. And for Eric Reed, who plays for the Carolina Panthers, to come out and say Jay-Z is only doing this for a money move, while this clown is still playing in the NFL, getting money from the NFL. It's a joke. I'm like, if these black NFL players really supported Colin Kaepernick, because to be honest, ain't nobody quitting the NFL for just because Colin Kaepernick quit. They will all quit. But if all of them are still playing for the NFL, then they all need to shut up. Seriously, none of them can talk, and they're lucky that we're living in the climate right now where they can get away with talking noise because liberals are going to back them up. But shoot, if we wasn't living in this climate, they will all be fired, man. Because how can Eric Reed talk all this noise about the NFL and telling Jay-Z not to bother with the NFL? Why he's still collecting a check from the NFL? That makes no sense.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, he got that settlement money with Colin Kaepernick. They split that down the middle. So you got millions from there. And then you went back to the NFL to continue to play. So what is he even talking about? I don't get it.
Exactly. It's so goofy. And Colin Kaepernick's girl, man, she is so messy. Like, she talks so much crap on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes dudes got to tell that girl, like, yo, chill. Like, let me handle this. Like, I don't need you out there just talking about Jay-Z never talked to Colin. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like, are you trying to drive a wedge between Jay-Z and Colin Kaepernick? Why don't you just be quiet and let them handle it? Nessa talks a lot of crap on Twitter, man. Like, she talks a ton of crap. Even when Travis Scott was going to perform for the NFL, she is calling him out for betraying Colin Kaepernick. Nobody has to check with Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick is not running anything for any black celebrity to check with him before they do anything with the NFL. And I don't know what he's thinking. You know what I'm saying? You know how he made that post kind of on Twitter trying to slight Jay-Z talking about thank you all for nobody but betraying me. Pretty much like throwing shade at Jay-Z, talking about how he betrayed him, and it's just ridiculous, man. Like, if Colin Kaepernick thinks the NFL are a bunch of white supremacists, then you don't need to be begging for no job. Like, it's like you sound hypocritical, man. But yeah, man, that's pretty much what I want to call on. It's just the hypocrisy. I feel like the black left, man, they focus they don't ever focus on any type of solutions and moving forward. I think they're just complacent and just complaining and protesting for the rest of their lives. And I'll be honest with you, if I was a white liberal Democrat and I saw that's all black people do, I would kind of be for that, because I'd be like, well, because they're very dependent, maybe I can use that for votes. I always keep them in a always keeps them in a paranoid state where they just feel desperate, and we come in like Superman offering them all types of crap. Even though we're not going to do anything for them, we're going to just lie and offer them everything so we can't get their votes. And black liberals still haven't woken up to that, man. And that's all I want to say, bro.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, take care, man.
All right, peace. Hey, shout out to my man Tariq, always with the great call. Summed it up pretty well. I said that in my video, was like, look, man, Jay-Z's about getting that money. Now, he is a hypocrite, though, because he was rolling around with the Colin Kaepernick jersey, doing all this stuff, fooling people to think that, yeah, I'm down with the cause. I'm trying to protest, too. I hate the NFL, F the NFL. But then it's like, all right, I'm getting money. I mean, hey, man, it's business. It ain't nothing personal. It ain't nothing. It's nothing to do with nothing. You know, it could be unethical. It could be hypocritical. I'm getting money. So what you going to do? Either you're going to get money with me or not. So that's pretty much it. Well, thanks to my man Tariq for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Mike from Queens, what's happening?
Hey, Anthony, what's going on? How you been?
Everything's been great, man. How about yourself?
Yeah, all right. I've been very busy over here. I know I haven't called in like a month, I guess. I don't even know. But
yeah, it's been a little while. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been meaning to try to get. I think I tried calling in your show, I think, last week, and I don't know. It was just very busy as usual. I mean, you're up to almost 350K, and you know, it's getting harder and harder to get in.
Yeah.
You know, just a couple of things I want to talk about. You know, I've been working in AOC's district this summer, and I've been talking to people over there, and you know, they're not fans of Trump, obviously, but they don't like her neither. They don't. You know, and all the stuff that's coming out now with her receiving a lot of donations from, you know, outside of the district, and you know, the whole thing with Amazon. I honestly think she's going to be challenged. I don't know. I don't think the Republican has a chance. Obviously, being that it's a plus 30 blue district, but if they could get, like I said, if they could get a Democrat, that can primary her, they'll be able to get out. And I think Nancy Pelosi is working behind the scenes to find someone on the Democratic side that can primary her and get her out. This candidate that was running for the Queensborough District Attorney, Tiffany Caban, who was endorsed by Bernie Sanders, who was endorsed by Cortez, and you know, the Justice Democrats and the DSA, you know, and all the people behind them. She lost. She lost to the moderate that was running against her in the primary. The primary went to a recount, and this woman, Melinda Katz, who's been in New York City politics for years, she won this. She won the primary, which is actually a good thing because she's not a lunatic.
Right.
You know, she don't. Yeah, I mean, she's a progressive. Don't get me wrong. She's a Democrat. But she's not with the whole socialist and Green New Deal garbage.
Right. Exactly. I mean, you need something like that in there. I mean, like you said, somebody on the right probably not going to be able to make it, but at least not somebody that crazy and that far out like an AOC.
So a lot of people in the borough I know voted for this. Voted for Katz, which is a good sign because people, at least in the city, are woke to somewhat to what she stands for, you know, and they see, you know, what the squad stands for, obviously. You know, you have some of these longtime New York politicians, a guy named Duff Hyken, he's a I know he's been a supporter of Rudy Giuliani. He was in the state assembly for a number of years. He's come out and really spoken out against AOC and the rhetoric coming from them. And that aside, I wanted to talk about just Jay-Z and whatnot. Kaepernick, that whole thing with Kaepernick and Jay-Z, they must have planned this about 2 or 3 years ago. They must have went to the Al Sharpton University of Hustle and Flow.
Yeah. That's kind of like this whole thing, right? Shaking down companies for money, and if you don't give them money, they give you a bad reputation, call you racist. It's the same kind of thing. It's the same exact hustle.
You don't think Kaepernick had this planned out? I mean, come on. The whole thing with the kneeling, they stirred a controversy. He goes back. He gets a lawyer. He sues the NFL. He's the one who, won $15 million. And then to further add insult to injury, he winds up and gets a nice endorsement deal from Nike.
That's right.
So come on, it was a hustle. It was a hustle from the start.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because one of the guys that he was dealing with, the guy named Eric Reed, he was so-called blackballed from the league, but he got the settlement money and then went right back to the NFL. So it was like, okay, I see what's going on. It's about trying to get money as much as possible. That's all.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. It's a shakedown, and JC is just looking. It's just about money with him. It's just about. And listen, I don't fault him for that. It's capitalism.
Right. Exactly.
It's capitalism, and instead of, if you want to do something in the communities to help the people, stop kneeling. Do something about it. Have garbage cleanups in Baltimore and South Chicago. Have instead of demonizing the police, try to have a dialogue between the Chicago Police Department, the Baltimore Police Department, with the communities, or in any other communities across the country, in these cities where if they have a trust issue with the police.
That's right.
And it was done in New York. It was done in New York, and that's the template.
Yeah, just do the same thing there. See what they did, see what worked, see what didn't work. Just copy it, bring it to your place, execute, and you're good. You're on the right path.
Exactly. Don't demonize the police. The police are there to help the communities out. Have these basketball tournaments, these football tournaments that are sponsored by the police. It works. I've seen it for myself. But on that note, Trump was great today with Twitter, over the last couple of days, obviously, with saying that Tlaib's grandmother it's a good thing because the grandmother don't want to see her, and that was just another priceless one in the long line of priceless tweets.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, all right, let me get going, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Got it. Have a good night.
Same to you. All right, thanks to my man Mike from Queens for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. 100%. Yeah, see, the NFL, it's all about, at the end of the day, this is all about cash. All about that almighty dollar. That's really the end. All the SJW, let's get down to beneath all that. Get down to the core. It's about cash. But let me get to my next call. All right, unknown caller, you on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Bill, this is Al.
All righty, what's going on?
Hey, yeah.
Hold on. Did I talk to you earlier today?
No, I just called in just right now.
Okay, go ahead.
I might have called before.
Oh, no, you good. Go ahead. No, you're straight.
Okay. I'm just, first of all, thanks for having me on, and good job you're doing. And about the Portland drama, I'm just catching up on that. To me, I think that's just it's bound to happen. I mean, all these anti-fascists and stuff like that.
Caller, I got a little bit of feedback in the background. Can you turn your speakers down in the background for me, please?
Okay, sure. Hello?
All right, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it was bound to happen. You know what I mean? I mean, at a certain point, when you get to a point where you get called this and you're not guilty of, I mean, people are going to start talking back or doing something back. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like the Antifa people, they're just out there their whole purpose is to actually just try and fight. They don't really care about anything else. They don't want you to express your point of view. I feel like it's like the Democrat playbook all over again. The KKK, right. that was the enforcement arm, and then they would come out there and silence you if you wanted to be conservative, if you wanted to be Republican. It didn't matter what color you were, all at the same time talking about how tolerating, peaceful, and loving they were. It's the same thing going on here with these individuals.
Right. I mean, they're supposed to be all loving, but then like no one else gets to talk with them. You know,
right,
and it's
right,
like
exactly.
when someone confronts them and says, hey, "Wait, we're here too," and it's like we're saying you're wrong, but you want to fight. But we can fight too then. If you're the fighters, well, on our side, we're the fighters then too. So what you want to do? You want to talk, or you want to, or what? You peace loving or what?
Right.
I mean, does that make sense?
No, I mean, I understand.
Like, there's always been, like, at a certain point, there's been peaceful monks, but then there's, in legend-wise, there's, like, warrior monks, too. You know, they had to fight.
No doubt.
I mean, do you believe in that?
No, I mean, I understand where you're coming from.
You know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, as far as Jay-Z, come on. I mean, I think in my point of view, whatever the Democrats think, either he's a sellout or they support him. They lose either way, because all they're proving is that it's all about money. It's all about capitalism. Capitalism works. That's all to me. Okay, either if it's capitalism to make a change for the better, well then, so what are they bitching about? But to them, it's capitalism to make it worse for them. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know. I mean, he might have sold out to them, but
yeah, I mean, to them, he was representing one particular train of mind, one thought process. It'd be anti-NFL, F the NFL, I hate the NFL. But then when it comes to money, all that goes out the window. You know, if the check big enough, all of that, I hate you, this, that, and the third, that goes away. Now we're about getting money, and that's why he's there. It's like, look, man, I'm not here just to be, you know, hanging out and just, you know, crying and complaining. I'm here to make money. So all of that stuff I don't even really care about. So people that don't understand, they have an emotional connection to an individual and don't understand the business side of it. So that's what that is.
And that's what exactly it is. And it works on the other side too, like the poverty, you know, pimps and you know, the race pimps and all that, you know, on the other side. But I don't know what, I mean, you know, Jay-Z's basically, he's an entertainer too, you know, and he's making money off of it too. But he's getting flack from both sides. So what? So then why doesn't the black community or a black reporter say, you know, what you know, say directly, you're a race hustler or what, you know, you support Trump or this or that, or make him say something then. You know what I mean?
No doubt, man. Well, I thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
All right. Thank you, ABL.
Take care.
Bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. And let me get to my next call here. The number to call is 434-658-1220. I got about 20 minutes left. 614, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, buddy. This is Matt in Ohio. How you doing, Matt?
Everything's great, man. Can't complain.
All right. Well, hey, I was calling because there's something I've been hearing enough on the news, so I wanted to signal boost this one a little bit.
Yes.
You got that Google whistleblower there, Zach Voorhees, right? He had code to demonstrate conservative bias in Google and the blacklist that they're using, right? And have you heard about this? Been following that?
I have heard about that, yes.
Okay, did you hear they swatted them? Google?
Wait. Hold on. Pause.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
let's start from the beginning. Okay, now this guy, what did he like? He leaked a list of the blacklist websites from Google.
And he had internal code to demonstrate that there was further bias reflected in the execution of the AI. And this was a little too technical for the Justice Department to immediately process. So he was going to go in there and walk them through it, basically, show them how it's sort of hidden in there. And it wasn't but a few hours before this was supposed to happen that Google, they say that they were doing a wellness check on him, and they called the police 2 times to get the police to go to him. But in reality, they swatted him because they.
Wow.
Yeah, they showed up, and there was like a bomb squad. There were snipers. They blocked off the roadway and evacuated everybody for like 4 blocks. It's just ridiculous. And they show him. Yeah.
That's crazy. See, a wellness check does not call for a SWAT team. A wellness check is
none of it.
A wellness check is maybe one officer in a car knock on your door and see, hey, are you okay? You know, snipers. That's called being swatted.
He got swatted.
That's insane.
So there was 2 things about this. One, it's almost like a full media blackout about it. And if you search Google, of course, there's very little results that come up. Maybe like 2 articles. I think it was like Tech Dirt or something, and some other one. But anyways, I found out about this because there's this guy. He's another channel I watch, and I feel like, man, it would be great to see y'all do a little conversation sometime because he's pretty on it too. Do you ever watch Salty Cracker? You know that guy?
No, I've not heard of him.
Okay, it's entertaining, and he's on it, man. I feel like y'all would just get right along. Maybe check it out sometime and see. But anyways, he was originally posting a video about this, right? And not 10 minutes after he posted it, Google ended up making it age restricted, which at first I'm thinking, well, like, he didn't say it. I don't even think he cursed, like, who cares? There's no adult content or anything even remotely. And then my buddy pointed it out to me. If you confirm your age, I guess that enables additional tracking. And they're tracking who is watching this video. So, yeah, man, this one needs put out there a little. People need to look into this. That guy's name was Zach Voorhees, right?
Yeah, matter of fact, I think I see it right now. It says, police, bomb squad, FBI surround Google whistleblower. Google turns bomb robots, police dogs, and guns on defiant insider.
I'm watching your stream, so you're a little delayed. But,
okay, yeah.
There's some good pictures of it too. Watching him like basically walk backwards up to him with his hands up, and it's just
so it was recorded. Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, maybe that's something worth making a video about here in the future. And one other thing, I don't know if you've heard about this one yet, but Epstein had a visitor. There are reports that Epstein had a visitor shortly before he died, alone in his lawyer's room, some young, attractive female. People are speculating she was a prostitute, something to that effect. I find it very interesting. I didn't know if you had heard about that yet.
I did hear about that. I think his lawyer or something came out and was talking about that, and they said the optics were jarring because she was real young and pretty.
Yeah.
It's like this guy, like, how are you going to be locked up for doing something like this, and you have the girl come to, like, okay, see, that's something right there. Okay, if you having the girls come to you in the penitentiary, in MCC, a federal detention center, why are you killing yourself? You have what you want in jail. Why are you killing yourself? And how are you going to do that at 6 foot tall from the top bunk?
Really believes that's what happened anyway.
Right. It makes no sense.
Believe that.
Right.
Did you? Of course, they're trying to say that he hung himself, but it's like there's just no way you're going to break your neck in multiple places leaning into a sheet. I don't care if it's paper or cloth or whatever. It don't matter. You're not. Did he flip off the bunk? No.
You're 6 foot tall. It's like, come on. It's not even enough space in there to do all that. It's just it's the whole story makes no sense.
I heard somebody. I don't even know. I think this will be okay with your, content standards here. But I heard somebody put it very well. It's like the peeing in our face and saying it's raining. in the
Yeah,
media.
right. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. It's like, come on, I know what that is. That ain't rain. All right, I understand what's going on. So don't try to tell me these things that don't make any sense.
Seriously, man. But that's about it, man. I was just sitting here working on some stuff, and I was like, I haven't heard ABL talk about this one yet, so maybe just put that up on his radar. Maybe check it out, huh?
Well, I thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
And no problem. You have a good night, bud. Thanks so much.
All right, same to you. Wow, yeah. Now, hold on. Let me see if I can get some video of the whole swatting situation. All right, so hold on. Let me see. So, suspicious device. What's that got to do with a welfare check? An investigation into a suspicious device shut down streets in San Francisco for about 3 hours. All right, so suspicious device, welfare check, got it. Unreal. That's wild. So he's talking right here. Let me see if there's any video in this one.
And the thing is,
the guy was there to take the video.
So hold on. He's showing his phone. There's some video on that.
They cuffed you, right?
I guess that's him.
They actually never cuffed me. They just detained me. So they
put you over the side.
I guess he's coming out right there. Might be where he lives or where he just happened to be at. So that's him right here. And he's just like backing up towards him.
Take the video.
I also want to show you the.
Yeah, that's crazy.
People are like, nah, bomb robot wouldn't. Robot outside with the hand.
Has been sent to my house because they think that something looks suspicious. They've blocked off 2 blocks.
2 bomb robots, a big one and a small one. And then for some reason my phone.
Wow, bomb robots. Now, when I got swatted, they ain't had no bomb robots or nothing like that. That's insane. Come on, man. Like, what are we doing? This whole thing is gonna have to end pretty soon. The internet thing. I'm a kind of guy. I believe in free markets. I get it, but you gotta have some kind of regulation on this internet thing because it's getting really scary. It's getting really scary, and people already gotten hurt by this. Okay, anybody that's swatting. I think the one guy that died from swatting, the person that did that, we talking about some real actual time in the penitentiary. Some definite time. That should be like an attempted murder type situation. If you swat, that should be an attempt murder all day long, 100%. And you should get some football numbers behind that. Wow, that's crazy. Unreal. And you know what? I found that on Google, which is pretty interesting. I'm surprised they didn't take that down. I figured that it would, but then again, if they take it down, then it's obvious that they did it, that they have something to do with it. Wow, that's wild. That's crazy. But I'm not sure what's worse. Google, Facebook, Twitter, Amazon. Like, what's worse? I think Amazon is better than all of them, but they all got their issues. I think we need to have some regulations, some government regulation on what you can and can't do, because these companies have so much power. They can they have more insight into you than you have into yourself. Women talking about before they know they're pregnant, they're getting ads served to them about their pregnancy on Facebook. So just put limitations on what people can do with your information and with you as an individual. Give sovereignty back to the individual. That should be more about what we got going on now. All right, let me get to this call here. 561, you on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, hey, Bill. This is Jay from South Florida. How you doing?
Oh, everything's good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm surprised I got you. I just had to call you because I wanted to talk to you about your trip on October 3rd to the 5th, the Young Black Leadership Summit. Is that full already?
Wait, like as far as the sign up?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it is. I wouldn't think so because it's still kind of early. So, yeah, man, if you're trying to go, I say go ahead and sign up, and they'll let you know. Like, I think no later than 2 weeks before what's going on. But if I find out anything before that, as far as like where the hotel is going to be and all that, I'll try to let you know.
Okay. Yeah, hey, Bill. a lot of people been targeting you lately, man. When I type your name in now, I see some people put some hit videos on you, man. They don't like you, you're like on a Brandon Tatum level now. Like this guy, I don't know. It sounds like his name was Opinion but Facts.
Okay.
He said some vile things about you, man. Like he didn't like that you. I forgot what video. Yeah, the latest one he put up about you with Jay-Z. He said some things about you, like you're more dangerous. He called your name the C word. You're more dangerous than white, the S word.
Well, I mean, that's I'm used to that at this point, but that's going to happen when you get to be somebody that is well known, when you're on TV, when you're doing different things, when you're actually making some moves happen. You're going to have haters. That's part of the package. When you public figure, any public figure, anybody, you can be somebody that's out there planting flowers for a living. Somebody's going to hate on you. That's just part of the process. So I ain't worried about that.
Oh, okay. AB, I know you're not I don't know your beliefs. I know you're not a Christian, but all these things going on. I didn't. My brother gave me the Bible the other day. I read it. I started reading it. I said, "Oh, the King James version," because that's the original text of how God wanted. That's God's original text of the Bible. And I didn't realize the wall. Building the wall was in the Bible. The right to bear arms in the Bible, and the Bible talks about liberals, how they're scoundrels and vile people. And I was surprised that the word liberal was in the Bible.
I had no idea. Like, I'm not really well versed on it, so I had no clue. But I hear a lot about the Bible, and I respect the Bible because a lot of the things in there, people say, it's kind of like predicting the future, and a lot of the things that are happening right now have already happened. So I'm not surprised that that's in there, but hey, it makes sense.
Right. Yeah, man. One more thing I wanted to say. I don't remember. The Don Lemon. Yeah, the last thing was the Don Lemon thing. My mom. When I told my mom about it, she was surprised. Like, oh, Don Lemon and Chris Cuomo. I didn't know they could get in trouble, or I didn't know they could get in news. Like all this things going on with them now. Like it seems like payback time.
That's right. I mean, you keep putting out things like that, keeping on that negative energy. Soon enough, it's gonna come back on you, and that's just it's bound to happen. That's just kind of how things work.
Right. Well, maybe I don't know what I'm going to say. Maybe something else will come up another time. Maybe on Wednesday I'll call you. But yeah, man, I'm gonna try see if I can make it to the YBLS thing, and hopefully one day, man, I get to see you on some of these shows because, like Kenneth Owen needs to invite you one time. Dave Rubin definitely need to put you on there. You're bigger than a lot of people that he's bringing on there, and maybe Joe Rogan one time.
Hey, I love to go over there, go to LA, do a whole run. I love to do it for sure.
Yeah, you and Lucas and Kevin Corner, you guys are too big for not. Only Brandon got a show in Canada. You guys, you're right up there with that. You guys need to be going on or at least Ben Shapiro Sunday Special. I want him to invite you one time on there.
Right.
All right, ABL, man. Take care, man. Have a good night.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, man. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you to my man Jake from South Florida for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Yeah, I love to go on do Candace show and do who else? Dave Rubin. I love to go there. That'd be great. Go to their crib and do that whole sit down talking. And also who else has a show? All the shows I'm on. Joe Rogan. That'd be crazy. But yeah, he's right though. I mean, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I've seen people on Joe Rogan's podcast. Not Joe Rogan, but Dave Rubin. I'm like, who is that? Like some people on there, I feel like I can be right there because I'm not that well known like some of them to be on there. You understand what I'm saying? So I could fit right into that particular lane. If you got a person right there that's as well known as I am, which is not like a superstar, then we good money. All right, let me get to my next call. And then if you get into my life and the things I've seen when I came up, I think that most people that go on this show have not really seen what I've seen. So I like to be able to show that side of myself. But let me get to my next call. All right, call you on the line, 737. Who am I speaking to?
What the heck? Did I just get lucky? Damn, I haven't even been in the YouTube chat. And I'm just calling out of the nowhere because we were shopping. Okay, it's me, Luciano from Texas, as always. And I kind of wanted to ask, I don't know if sorry, I'm kind of just watching in, have been watching in only the last 20 minutes. But have you heard that some 9-year-old girl in Germany is suing an all-boys choir club because she was rejected for being a girl?
I did hear about that, yes.
What is that? What do you think about that personally?
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's what has happened to the world and a lot of the Western world, where the social justice warrior narrative has just gone too far. I mean, come on, you have a boys' choir, centuries old. That should be left alone. You shouldn't be able to sue them to grant you admission. But it's been happening. It's been a process. I mean, you're talking about the Boy Scouts are no longer the Boy Scouts. You got kids that are becoming transgender. This is all part of a ever escalating process to just erode a sense of what it means to be a human being or a gender in parts of the Western world, which is why you got people that are trying to fight against it.
I agree, because the thing is, first off, how's a 9-year-old girl? Well, I mean, this is Germany. I don't know how they're. But in the U.S., in most states, you have to be 18 to file a lawsuit, as far as I know. So I'm like, even in Germany, a very liberal place, how is the child filing a lawsuit?
Hold up.
Yes, I can hear you. Did Skype glitch?
No, it's all good. I had a ring on my doorbell, so I was making sure everything was straight. Yeah, no, nothing happened.
Oh, Jesus, I hope it wasn't one of those waters again.
No.
Oh my God, this happens in this call. But as I was saying, I mean, I think you have to be 18 in most U.S. states to file a lawsuit, I believe. But I mean, I'm always even impressed to see a 9-year-old girl. How did she even file a lawsuit? How does she know how to navigate a lawsuit? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be some culture from the parents. I feel like the parents put her up to it.
Yeah, exactly. And then again, this is just another the destruction of what I would call male spaces. Because I mean, the male music. I mean, I don't mean to sound so agitated, but male music has been way more recognized than female music than for the last 100+ years. No, even more than that, 500+ years. Like male musicians, they're like the novelty of music. Female musicians have only had their recognition for like only 40 or 50 years. So why not look for a choir club that accepts either both genders or girls, right?
Right.
And I was very shocked to hear that. Like, come on now. I mean, we're more concerned with that than what's really going than the Islamic invasion of Europe. Just another dog whistle to distract us. Do you think?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think things like that happen a lot, but they don't always get attention. I feel like it's happening a lot more lately because it seems like to be the popular wave. But I'm not sure if it's used to be a distraction.
All right. Yep. And another thing, did you hear about? Although a little late, did you hear about Gillette CEO losing $8 billion in stock?
Yeah, I did hear about that. Yep. And then the CEO talked about, it was worth it to get involved with the Social Justice Warrior Initiative. I'm like, okay, I'm not really sure losing $8 billion is worth it. I think the whole point was to try and gain money, not lose money.
Because I'm like, I mean, I don't think companies and corporations care much about money anymore. All they care about is being hip and trendy, I noticed. Oh, and pandering to the youth and women as well.
Right.
Big time. Because now there's you got to look for some model customer to rely on, and women and youth are some of the biggest consumers in the world. That's not a undeniable truth. How many the shopping malls are always filled with women and children and teens. So,
that's right.
Yep. All right, man. I'll let you go. Just wanted to shout that out. Hey, man. I hope nobody actually tries to target you. Through a SWAT.
No.
Through a swatting. Yeah, to a swatting prank or anything. I got your back, dude. I'm all for empowering other conservatives.
Well, I thank you for the call, man, and your support. I definitely appreciate you.
No, anytime. Last caller, I guess. I guess I'm lucky to be the last caller.
there it is, man.
All right. Anytime, man.
All right, now. All right. Shout out to my man for calling. Yeah, I thought I had a call on my Ring, because I have one of those doorbells. I thought I had a call on the Ring, and then I was hearing like knocking. So I'm like, all right, I had to just go to the door to make sure everything was good. But we fine. Ain't no problems. Like, I talk to the police around here, and then they know what's going on. So everything is perfect. Everything perfectly all right. Don't worry about nothing. But I got super chats to read right quick. So let me see what's happening. Shout out to, and sorry if I scared y'all. I ain't mean to do that. My apologies. But shout out to Crush. Thank you to Crush Grouping, who says peace and good night all. Thank you for your donation. Definitely appreciate it. Shout out to Stami, who says ABL more people got your back than you know. Hey, I thank y'all. I really do. Shout out to Blonde Brainstorm 93, who says Zachary Voorhees posted a dead man switch, so Google play dirty hardball. Oh yeah, okay, there we go. Thank you for that. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Crush Grouping again a couple times and 3 times for your donation. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Victor Wilcox, who says keep up the great work, Patriot. God bless. Well, God bless you as well. I appreciate it. Thank you to Misanthropic One. Shout out to you, man, who says that caller is right. Salty Cracker is that dude. ABL, you got to check him out. Tell him Misanthropic One sent you. Love you, ABL. Hey, man, love you right back, man. Thank you for your donation. Definitely appreciate you. I got to check that out. And shout out to Dark Wolf, who says, so how will the Red Flag Laws and TAPS Act help you when you have a felon having a shoot up with the police? And everyone is always saying about Second Amendment. We need to start screaming the 10th Amendment. Well, hey, thank you for your donation and your words. Definitely appreciate you. That was my whole thing about the shooting in Philadelphia. This guy is a multiple felon, should not have had guns, and shooting with the police. So how would a gun law help him at all? Alrighty. Okay, I'm going to get to this last call, and then I got to go. Thank y'all for being here. I definitely appreciate you. American Joe, what's happening, man?
ABL, what's happening?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
Hey, I don't know what you've been talking about, man, because I just got home with my wife. We went and saw 47 Meters Down, which was a god-awful movie. Don't go see that movie. God-awful. But, I wanted to say that I just found out that the YouTube agreed to meet with the YouTube Union. Did you hear about that one?
I've not heard about that.
You know what the YouTube Union is, though, right?
No idea.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Well, there's this German group that put together a YouTube union of content creators, for all content creators to come together and fight the censorship and garbage that YouTube's been doing. And they gave YouTube a countdown and said, if you don't meet with us and meet our demands, we're going to sue you in court. We're going to take you to court to sue you. And the organization involved in Germany, they're kind of known for this. So they've done it before, and nobody thought YouTube was going to respond, but it turns out they are. They did respond, and they are going to meet with them on Wednesday. So very interesting to see what happens.
Wow,
very interesting.
That
Things
definitely
might
be
get better
interesting
for us, man.
Yeah, hopefully, one thing about YouTube and a lot of these companies, sometimes they'll agree to meet, but then it'll be with a lawyer, and they give you some of the lawyer points. So hopefully it's not that. Hopefully it's productive.
Yeah. I mean, I just really am sickened by what they're doing with all the content creators on YouTube. They're bowing down. They're basically making it like corporate tube now. They've kind of taken the U out of YouTube, and it's just such a shame, man. It used to be such a great place for creators, But right now I personally, I feel like every day my day's number is just a matter of time before they're going to shut us down or do something stupid. And I constantly have people coming on the channel threatening to flag my videos falsely just to get the channel taken down, all that garbage. So I don't know. I don't know how much of that you face, man, because I know you're kind of cautious with some of the things you say, but I face that crap all the time, man. And it's a little frustrating. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you.
But how's everything else going, man? Everything going good since you got swatted? Did they find the punk who did that?
Well, I'm not really sure about that, but they're definitely looking into it. But everything's been good. Everything's been perfectly fine.
All right, man. I just wanted to say hi and tell you to keep up the good work, my friend. And hopefully we'll get together again and do something soon.
Oh, definitely, man. Absolutely.
All right, man. Take it easy.
All right, same to you. All right, great call from my man, American Joe. Definitely appreciate him. But on that note, I have to bounce. Thank y'all for being here. Definitely appreciate you. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Hit the like button as well, and also hit the bell right beside the subscribe button so you get notified whenever I go live post a new video. And that is pretty much it. I got all the super chats. I got everybody. Thank y'all to the Patreon supporters and also the PayPal supporters. I see you guys. I thank y'all for what you do. And shout out to the moderators. You guys do a great job keeping them trolls in line. We got Ansel, Bill from the Hills, Michelle A, T-Pain, of course. We got Elijah Jean. We got Shreve. We got the whole squad. Zealand Zen, thank y'all for what you do at the time. Definitely appreciate you. Wednesday night, I will do a live stream, but it won't be the call-in show because I'll be in Virginia. So what I'm gonna do, I'll probably be on my phone and just do like a Brandon Tatum. Shout out to my man Brandon Tatum. He'll talk and have the conversation that way. So I'll probably do something like that when I'm in Virginia. But Saturday, I'll be back doing a regular live show. Like I come back that Saturday, so I'll do a regular live show that day. And I'll try to do some videos when I'm out there, and I'll try to have some that are scheduled when, like, before I leave, so it'll come out so you still have some good content. And if you're in Virginia, if you're in the 757, the 7 cities area, maybe I'll see you around. Who knows? But thank y'all for joining. Definitely appreciate you. And that is all I got for now. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.